You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Hey, welcome. We're just all sitting in our wicker chairs with our podcasting tools. Just
our lemonade,
our
and fans,
lemon cakes,
sweaty cells.
Just making some homespun artisanal podcasts.
Lord, yes.
Eating our zebra cakes.
Getting our ding dong on.
Manna from Trump's heaven, I tell you.
I mean, the zebra cakes are pretty good.
I do like. There's something about that the texture of a little Debbie cake, particularly zebra cakes, that like.
It's the right amount of oil too. It's like weird. It's got the. You know what I mean?
Palm oil has that perfect, chewy, soft texture to it.
Is that what is used in it? Is palm oil?
I'm pretty sure it's palm oil. That way, a lot of it's in candy bars, so it stays just perfectly gooey at room temperature.
Gotcha. So they use it inside there to keep the insides gooey? Or
I would imagine, instead of like Crisco, that's what they'll have. I don't know that for certain, but that's what I would imagine it is.
I've eaten a lot of candy bars recently, speaking of candy bars, because it's Halloween time just passed, and it's like we got a bunch of little fun-sized candy bars to give to the 3 trick-or-treaters who came by our house.
We didn't have one. No, I take that back. We had one. It was our neighbor's daughter. She came by in her little princess dress, but we live 2 blocks from Jefferson Street.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So nobody trick-or-treats in our neighborhood. They all go to Jefferson.
Jefferson's the spot.
It's the spot. They block off 3 city blocks.
Yeah.
And the houses on the street all set up, and there'll be 150,000 kids running around. I mean, it is insane how many people.
There was a lot of people, which is why we didn't go there this year.
It was bad this year because they didn't do it last year because of COVID. There was which is totally over now.
Right. Oh, it's totally over.
It's totally safe, especially for kids.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't go either because my grandson was out of town with his family. They went to visit relatives and did Halloween with them.
Right. Yeah.
So we didn't go. But I did drive past because I had gone out to pick up dinner, and holy God, it was packed from where I was, and that was 2 blocks away from that.
Yeah,
I could see the cars were just parked all the way down and everything, and there was even a fucking helicopter flying over, getting video
throwing
footage
candy.
Yeah, hopefully not hard
caving in kids' skulls, like dropping a penny off the Empire State Building.
Well, I think that's man. If I ever am
it's like the turkey drop from WKRP.
Right. Holy shit. Wow. Man, I hadn't thought about that in a minute.
Throwing pumpkins out. Happy Halloween. Oh, God, the humanity.
If I'm ever super wealthy, please remind me to rent a helicopter on Halloween and throw full-size candy bars out of it.
over a crowd of children.
Kids, open your sacks. I don't say it like that.
You absolutely have to say it like that.
We went out
to a megaphone.
Attention, children. Ready your sacks.
Ready your sacks for my
full-sized bars.
I'm going to throw my
for Dave's special load.
Happy Halloween. We went out to Ryan of Tyler's Brothers fames. We went out to his neighborhood, which was nice.
Also, that's also a hot spot.
Yeah, it was nice, but it wasn't I wanted to check that out because I know Jefferson's kind of not really downtown, but it's packed.
It's midtown. It's where we live.
It's imagine a city in a movie. It
is.
Or because it's the houses are really close to one another. But out in Ryan's neighborhood, it's a little more open.
It's more of a suburb.
It's more of a suburb. So it's
a maze burb.
We used to go to Heather Hills every year. And trick or treat there because the houses are like that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Heather Hills.
I don't know how much of a scene it is now. I don't know if they all go to Jefferson. I mean, literally, people from all over the county come down to go to Jefferson
Yeah.
Street. And I mean, these poor people, I say poor people,
Wealthy
they're
people.
wealthy.
They're pretty wealthy people to live on
But
Jefferson Street.
they will spend, one
Thousands.
house will spend
Thousands.
$1,000, $2,000, $3,000
Yep.
in candy just to be able to give some to everybody.
Yeah, I work.
But they volunteer to do it, and there's no requirement for them to do it. I mean, if you live there and you don't want to participate, you don't have to, but they do, because those are big, expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Midtown. We're talking
yeah.
$1 million homes
Oh, yeah.
down there. So
I work with somebody whose sister lives on Jefferson, and it's like she spends $3,000 a year on candy for Halloween.
see, that's insane.
$3,000 a year, like that's like $3,000. I might be able to buy a car for that.
I don't.
I said that's 6 of my car.
Yes, exactly. I don't spend $3,000 a year on power for my house.
Do you save a little bit each month for like? Is there like a candy envelope where you put money in each month, or it's like October? I'm going to bust this open.
Once again, I don't think these are the type of people that have to save
Right.
for anything. I
Yeah.
think they probably just go and
One of them should
buy
rent a
it.
helicopter.
They probably did. It was probably one of them.
So you know
that
what?
did it.
You know what's the month. So go ahead and put $250 in that candy envelope for us.
You did
Jesus.
the math.
Did the math.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
insane. That is a lot of money for candies.
Jeez.
But it is like a big block party.
Yeah.
Because it's, first of all, the cops are there. They keep the side streets blocked off, and they're patrolling, making sure nobody's hurting anybody or getting into fights or whatever.
Yeah.
But there'll be music, and there'll be entertainers.
Making sure everyone's the right color at this trick or treat. Okay. All right. Good.
There'll be entertainers. There'll be people in really super cool, elaborate costumes. I told you when Cohen got to meet Michael Myers, it was there, and it was studio accurate. I mean, the costume was a nice one.
He chased the girls one year. Yeah.
They
Slowly.
If you're a new listener, I just want to let you know I'm not racist. That was a joke.
Yeah,
At the cop's expense.
That's more of a commentary on the police in Western Kentucky.
Hi, welcome to our show, by the way.
but it's fun, and we were
Hot
gonna.
takes on local law enforcement. That's what you're here for, right?
Look, hey, with all things considered, if someone broke into my house, I'd definitely call those police.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, someone broke into my house. Don't worry. You know what I mean?
TADPOG, the video game podcast that actually does Lewis Black style hot takes on local law enforcement.
Good day, sir. Click.
Well, I tell you, but the police in Paducah.
Please do that for the rest of the show. They do it. Trick or treat's different now. Like there was one house we went to that did it. We called it old school, where you go to the door and knock on the door, and someone opens it and gives you a piece of candy.
Yeah,
Everyone else had tables set up, and I don't know. I don't think it's because I don't think it's a COVID thing, because no one really seemed to fucking like worry about that. But like, I think it's just a new way of trick or treating, I guess. Like, because it was weird, because like we went to that house that had the door closed, but we were like, I don't know, what is this?
Where's their bowl?
I don't get it.
the rule is usually, isn't it, that if you've got your front porch light on, you're fair game.
Right, exactly. But they were the only house that had their light on, that like they weren't out in the
They were
driveway.
doing it old school.
Right, they were doing it old school, like the way that we did it, which was I'll flip the light on, and if someone knocks at the door, I'll give them candy. I fucking loaded those kids up because I knew.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it's like it's just you, so it was just like 3 big handfuls of like these fun size bars. One of the kids tried to leave, and I was like, "Get back here!" I'm not literally. That is not a joke. I was like, "Get back here!" And then like one of them left, and I gave another handful to one of the other kids, and was like, "He didn't get his 4th handful. Make sure he gets that." And they were like, "You are weirding us out, man."
That is not the way this is supposed to work. We always have a little candy in the house, so we managed. We put a bunch in a little bowl for the one little girl we knew was coming.
Yeah.
And loaded her up, just like, here, take it. We can't eat it. It's yours. So yeah.
Man, that just reminded me that I did not go by our neighbor's house. They're probably pretty upset about that. We normally do
with
take
Henry.
Henry over there. Yeah. Well, when I see Terry, I'll be like, "Hey, don't worry, nothing personal. We just forgot about you."
No, dress Henry up and then go try to pretend like, no, like it's Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
Where's the candy? You're the asshole.
Gaslight my neighbor. You got
God, I dress up my son who's very excited about Halloween. You don't have anything. He'll take cash.
Got any chocolate pudding? Those little cups, snack packs.
You have loose pudding?
got any cheese? Loose change?
Sandwich. I'll take a sandwich.
You can mow my yard.
Go in there and make me a
Yeah,
ham
that'd be
sandwich.
awesome. Yeah, if you could just mow my yard. Happy Halloween.
Is it a package here?
Yeah, we got a package that came to the P.O. box.
Let me look at this real quick.
Is everything in order?
It appears to be. Dear TADPOG, I know a while back I made a TADPOG-based shadow box, but decided to make this other one because to me it seemed like more fun. I wanted to make you two something special because you are two special guys.
Hey,
I know who this is from.
thank you.
I save all your new episodes until I have to do yard work, so the terrible things I do don't seem so bad.
I feel that.
I do that too.
There was one time when you said you two came through keeping me awake while I was on the road at night driving through rain and starting to nod off.
Nice.
Saved
up.
Saved your lives. Make us like 20 more shadow boxes. I like them a
Public
lot.
service.
I figured out how to print cheaper shipping labels through PayPal, so hopefully I'll be
Hey.
sending more before Christmas. Hell yes. I fucking love these shadow boxes.
Yeah, these are awesome.
But if I don't send another one out before Christmas, this is your Christmas grift.
A Christmas,
Oh,
a Christmas
gift.
grift.
I will also accept Christmas grifts.
I got
Just
you.
let me know.
I got you this, so I don't have to be involved in Secret Santa. A Christmas grift.
I think I'm a Christmas grift this year pretty hard. Or I won't participate, but go ahead and get Khris Vaughn the thing I should have got him last year.
You still have it.
I have half of it.
God.
Speaking of Khris
So
Vaughn,
I'm not going to participate. I'm just going to send him something.
I don't think
this
you're allowed
year.
to participate.
This is, oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm banned.
Yeah, you're
I'm
banned. I'm
Excommunicated.
sorry. You're my
No,
friend.
you're right.
We can still
You're
be
right.
friends, but you are banned
No,
from
I'm
Secret
awful.
Santa.
I haven't sent out anything from the Piggy Palace still. It's like the post office just has an aversion spell on it. I just can't
Give
go
me,
there.
give me the stuff and money, and I will take the shit to the post office.
Well, I want to go buy more stuff for it since I can't get the other half of it. I want to compensate for somehow. I just haven't gone to do it.
I live a mile from the post office. I'll do it.
Okay.
You tell me, give me the stuff that I need.
I
and
will give
will
you some
take
stuff.
it
All right.
and mail
I
it
could do that.
for you. It's the least I can do.
It sounds good. I will do this thing. Merry Christmas, men. With love, the artist formerly known as Holy Dumpster Diver.
Merry Christmas, Holy Dumpster Diver.
P.S. This is a new custom shadow box I make where I personalize names and sprites.
Oh, shit.
Holy dumpster diver.
Now, if it were just like an asshole, I would. That's pretty good. River City Ransom. It's where they're in the sauna, with their
nice.
asses out. Tyler and Dave were very uptight, and the sauna was so relaxing.
Dude.
Pops, that's fucking beautiful.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Beautiful.
Wow.
I love that.
That is so cool.
I love that.
Sauna
Apes and
350.
Capes.
No thanks.
On Etsy.
Apes and Capes. Buy his stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really,
It's very
it is
cool.
very, very cool.
And it's half the price of other people who
Yeah.
are making
Yeah.
the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
and I'm not just saying that because he sent us this. I mean, really, honestly, it's really neat. Like, what's really cool is like even like the boxes in the back,
They
like
look
the
like
menu
menu boxes, yeah.
they're lifted up off the back, so like there's like a natural
Yeah,
drop
it's
shadow
3D.
there. That's very nice. A very cool effect. I love it.
Very
Thank
very
you.
That's
cool.
amazing. Thank you. Former artist formerly known as Holy Dumpster Diver.
I got a new thing. Speaking of Big Dick Pie Baker Khris Vaughn,
Oh,
I've been meaning to buy a Game Boy Advance from him, and then he posted on Discord that he had to get rid of Game Boy Advances because the lady of the house said he had to get rid of Game Boy Advances.
That's what I was going to send him from.
Well, here, I'll give this to you. You can send it right on back to him with a Christmas card. in
Because
there.
I'd bought him a new screen because then I was
the
going to have
IPS
Ryan
screen.
mod it. So now I don't know what to do because I have the screen, but
Dude,
I
it's
couldn't.
perfect. Just send him the screen because he mods these. He loves doing this. So just send him parts. I mean, because then I'm serious.
Okay.
No. I'm
As
serious.
I have the screen. That's the only part I get. I couldn't get find a GBA that wasn't in shit condition or like $200.
Dude, send him the parts, because like he does custom cases and everything too, and it's like I didn't have him custom build me one. This was just one that he had already built, because it's like, what he does.
How do you turn it on? I forgot.
You know what? I never owned an SP. It's on the side. I can't remember if it's the right side or left side. There's a switch.
Well,
yeah.
Fires right up.
So I only had, back in the day, I only had the GBA, the first generation flat GBA, which did not have like a lit screen.
Backlit screen was fucking awful.
I mean, I liked it.
I've got one in there on the treasure rack.
Yeah. Hey, do you have an SP charger by any chance? Because I ordered one on Amazon, but it's not going to be here until Sunday. And I would love to play the shit out of this.
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly.
If you do, I'd love to borrow it. If you don't, no big deal. I'll play it sparingly until then. But it's awesome. I mean, it looks great. Like, the screen looks fantastic. I recommend, if you want anything like this, to definitely hit up Big Dick Pie Baker Khris Vaughn.
I love this. This is nice.
AKA Magical Sleeper. Yeah, it's very, very pleased with it. But yeah, like, even like I've seen him take like real shitty Game Boy Advances and like put them in new cases, and like there are manufacturers who make new cases, and there's like an SP like flat case that kind of makes it like look more like a standard Game Boy. But
now, do you have to send him something typically to do for you, or does he just get it and make it and sell it?
Typically, in the past, like he hadn't just made things and then sold those things. I think this was literally like, I got to get rid of these things. I've made too many things. Does anybody want to buy these things? And I was like, oh yeah, I do, because I've been meaning to have him build one for a long time, and it's just like, well, now's the time. You got inventory you need to get rid of. I want a Game Boy Advance SP, so let's do this. So yeah, very cool. I love it. I got an EverDrive from Stone Age Gamer. So just I've loaded up with a few games, but I get to play all these games that like, I played a few GBA games, and probably like, I guess some of the better ones, but like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Like, I know you're not a big fan of that one, Tyler, but like,
I probably need to give it another shot.
It's not as a mature a story as Tactics was, like the original Tactics. And I think that was kind of a stumbling block for me too, like just first getting into it. I mean, it was very much, when I fired it up, it's like, did I buy a baby game? Fuck.
Well, I think for me, it was just, I didn't know the controls. It wasn't just like Tactics.
Right, it's not.
So whenever I didn't know the controls and there were laws,
yes,
and I didn't know how to do the thing that they wanted me to do, so as soon as turn one, I break the law and go to jail. Right. I was like, no.
Yeah, if you don't like the law system, you might not be able to get over it.
If they had walked me through, like, okay, well, see, swords are banned, so what you're going to want to do is this, and if walk me through the action,
yeah,
okay. Instead of just like, swords are banned,
you use the sword.
How do I switch? I don't have anything else. What am I supposed to do? Well, is the law, what happens? Do I just lose more? No, no, okay, nope.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to tell you got to play this game, because obviously you don't. But I think if you can get past that,
and I miss that style of game very much. So yeah, I probably need to give it a try.
Triangle strategy, man. Like, I think you're gonna love that game. I really do, because that gives me like, it's a new tactics game that's like coming out on the Switch, and it's like, I played the demo, very, very much in the vein of Tactics, like very much. Like, I mean, to like the style of like the writing for the story and stuff, and it's very like tons of political intrigue, no law system. so there's that. It's got that going for it, which is nice. But yeah,
soothe my chaotic good heart. No law system.
Yeah.
What's the scene? I think it's Billy Madison, where he calls that one that Steve Buscemi plays, and like, hey man, I'm sorry we picked on you,
right?
Yeah,
whatever. And then at the end, man, sure glad I called that guy.
Yeah,
that's for Khris Vaughn. It's just like remembering, like pulling a random iTunes interview or review and commenting on it, like, man, Sure glad I told that guy he had a big dick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love having Chris around in the community. Definitely recommend his work. I think it's great.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
still
top notch.
Love that Game Boy that he made for me, and yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, I've got a couple of video game related things.
Yeah.
First off, I brought this up in Discord today. The new Animal Crossing DLC, the free DLC, which is the final free DLC for them, dropped today.
Yeah, you've been on that.
I have a little bit. I was obviously tied up with other things all day, so I couldn't play, but I got started.
What do you think?
So far, they've added a lot of content.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of quality of life improvements. They've done one thing where you can get a recipe to make a ladder that's like on the side of a cliff.
I thought you were going to say they added a new thing where you can get arrested.
No.
And I was like, whoa, I'm back in. Holy shit,
There's
baby.
a law system.
Yeah. No swords today,
No
Isabel.
swords. No, you can put permanent ladders on the sides of cliffs, so you can just crawl right up. And there's a storage shed you can get that allows you access to your house's inventory from outside your house.
Oh, that's very nice.
That is nice. And you can also get an ATM machine that lets you access your bank without having to go into the courthouse.
That's also very nice.
Guest services, I should say. They've got a new boat thing. There's this frog in a boat by the dock on your island.
Yeah. I
And
can't remember his name. He was in
yeah, I can't remember.
New
it
Leaf,
either.
I think, right?
Yes, he was.
The one who's like, does he sing like a
Yes.
The
shanty?
Kappa who
Yes.
would sing.
Yeah.
That's him.
It's Captain, isn't it? Isn't it like
I think you're right. Captain. It's a
Captain? I
Kappa
think
named Captain.
Captain, yeah.
Yeah, that may
maybe
be
something
right.
like that?
But you can pay him 1,000 Nook miles and get a boat ride to an island like you
A
did.
boat
with,
race?
like you did with the like you did with the plane. It's the same kind
Okay.
of deal. But now you can dig up gyroid fragments and plant them, and now you can grow gyroids.
Gyroids are the fire hydrant looking things,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And apparently they've got a whole new recipe system now built into DIY. So now you can cook. And you can grow wheat and tomatoes and stuff to make flour, to make ingredients, to cook dishes.
So what do the dishes do? Are they decoration or
They can be decoration, or you can eat them.
and then
that
like lift
just
trees up and stuff?
Lift trees up, and
Right.
shit,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That I haven't seen. Of course, they added Brewster's Cafe to the museum.
What's that?
It's the pigeon. Apparently, it was in previous versions of Animal Crossing. It's just a cafe.
Okay.
That's built into the museum, and of course, it's not there yet. You have to do a little mini mission for Blathers to
Okay.
get it to. So I think by tomorrow it'll be there for mine.
What are your thoughts on Blathers?
I'm
Are you pro Blathers?
legally not allowed to comment.
Oh fuck.
Sorry.
Okay. Shit.
I have an NDA with.
Goes to Blather. I haven't played this game for a minute, but I know that.
You know
Yeah.
Blathers, yeah.
But so there's that, and then they've added. You can use patterns on your house walls and stuff. You can hang stuff from your ceiling in your house now.
That's nice.
They've
It still wouldn't raise my happy homemaker score or whatever.
no, mine won't ever go up.
Zalma taught me the secret to that, and I
It's
gotta
feng
be
shui, isn't it?
no.
That's for luck in the game.
It's
apparently.
and I like this is not against Zal at all. I'm glad that like he opened my eyes, and it's like you just fucking fill it with shit. Just fill it with shit. Just fill it to the fucking brim. And it's
my style of decorating.
and that's what it counts.
yep, because it's like yep. And
I won't do
like,
it that
I was
way.
like,
Mo-
I don't want to do it that way either.
Moby has a terrible score. Terrible.
I tried doing the
Credit
thing.
score? You couldn't even buy a fucking Jetta.
I tried doing the feng shui thing where you put green
Me too.
stuff in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
south.
Yeah, we talked about
Oh, that's
that.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I went all out with that.
Same.
Didn't work.
Girl, same. No, it didn't. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry I gave
Girl.
No,
you that. Girl,
Same.
same.
we had, and so there was that. Oh, you can expand your house's storage again.
Oh, shit. More turnips, more turnips.
It's 700,000 bells to go to the next level.
I
of
might have
storage.
that.
Oh, I
dude, I
definitely.
got so many.
I got 10 million in the
Fucking,
bank.
yeah.
I'm not worried about the money. It's just 700 grand to expand my. But I think it like.
Bragger.
Yeah, I'm bragging. I don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
700,000. fucking have it. You want some of that? I'll buy. I don't care. I'm gonna
Dude,
shut my 4.
I've got all the money.
They
in
fucking
Animal
lowballed
Crossing.
that shit because it's like it took you this long to put out the DLC. Like you gotta account for inflation,
Right,
By like week 2, I feel like everyone had a million bells at
easily.
least. I mean,
Well, and I may jump in there and do the turnip thing one more time, just once.
oh baby,
But it's easy now. I mean, all you've got to do is get on the Nook site and you pay someone a Nook Miles ticket and some bells, and you go and sell your turnips and get millions, and then you're done.
in theory, it was easy when I was doing it too. But the problem was everybody in the world was playing the game
Exactly.
and like you'd
Animal
wait.
Crossing and Tiger King. It was a different world.
Yes,
yeah,
it
no
was.
shit. You like I would wait in queue. I would have 4 queues all open at the same time to get onto an island, sell turnips, and then it's like just keep my fingers crossed that one of those islands stayed open long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
For me to get through.
But anyway, there's new stuff you can buy from the Nook terminal, new like topiaries and flower planters. And
Cool.
There's new fence recipes. They've added a bunch of stuff now. Apparently, too.
I can't start playing this game again.
Dude, apparently they've added something else, which I haven't gotten to yet, but you can go to Harv's Island. You know, where you used to go and take pictures. You could build rooms and take pictures.
Was
and
that
stuff.
was like the wedding chapel and
Yes,
stuff, right?
yes.
Yeah. I noped out of that.
Yeah, I did too. But now they've opened it up to where there's going to be vendors there. And
fuck.
they're going to sell like new hairstyles. And
I can't do it.
Apparently, Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes is now somebody who can move into your town.
my fucking God.
And there's a corgi.
Oh shit.
And little Nemo is like sometimes he'll show up there's a 1 in 10,000 chance he'll show up.
Damn.
I think like
You
LaBelle.
get a copy of Bone.
Apparently you can they built Morkborg into it.
Apparently LaBelle's going to have a shop, and the ones that visit you normally are going to have a shop now on Harv's Island.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So
you can go visit
there
them
and do it.
anytime.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I think there was still some stuff they missed the boat on,
It sounds cool.
but it's so far it's been like I said, I've only played it for about an hour and gotten a couple of things done and
I can't.
whatnot.
I
but-
can't. Dude, that
I know it.
sucked so many hours that I enjoyed. I
Yeah,
mean, but like
I
it
still
sucked
enjoy
so many hours out of my life that's like I don't think I could do, like it was like the perfect time for that game to come out because it was like, well, the world's ending.
Yep.
Might as well play Animal Crossing for literally 15 hours. It's just like, I can't do that anymore. Now it's like, well, the world's still ending, but I mean, we got to eat.
But everybody's okay with it.
Right.
Now no one cares.
Yeah. So
Well, they did wait too long to get the DLC out, but the only thing is, like, they still
Well, Tiger
haven't-
King 2 is coming out, so they we got to time it.
is it
Time it
is it
right.
really?
It's in production.
No, I thought you were joking.
I'm not joking.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! I think the
Wow.
little stuff like there's not a
Tiger
shop,
Prince. Sorry.
there's not a shopping cart at the clothing store still, and you
Dude.
know, all those things they should have.
Dude, that fucking clothing store is the worst.
it's the worst
Because it's like you go in
You go
there.
in, you go out.
You go in, you go-
out.
yeah.
You can only buy one shirt,
Yeah.
and one pair of
At a
pants at
time.
a time.
Yeah, it
but
fucking
You
sucks.
can't buy a dress if
Yeah.
you bought a shirt and a pair of pants.
They need a buy all option.
They do.
They need to be
buy
like,
everything I don't have.
right. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
hey,
I want.
we noticed you're rich. You want to buy everything? Yep. Will it save me 20 minutes? Yes.
I'll pay for that convenience.
You can go full Pretty Woman and act like they're all snooty and be like, you should have took a chance.
Snap a jewelry box on their fingers. That's all I remember from that movie.
from Pretty Woman.
That and
yeah.
Jason Alexander with hair.
Yeah. Oh. Somehow worse too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like Venom and the symbiote.
See, I'd never seen it, and Melissa was like, "You've never seen it? Oh my god!" And so we're what's like a commercial for we're watching the trailer or something like that, and it's like, yeah, you know, she won't kiss him because that's the thing, you
Right.
know. The emotion's like, oh, does he like bring her in like
does he-
he's treating her? Does he not fuck? Does he like not fuck
he have
her?
a
Oh no,
kissing
he fucks her.
fetish?
He fucks her a lot. Oh, okay. So it's not quite okay.
Just no kissing. Originally, that
But
movie,
then she kisses him. Oh, so then they end up together. So kissing does okay.
So it's no longer a professional
he
relationship.
definitely fucks her.
originally
Fucks
in
the
that movie,
shit out of her. And she takes that money.
he was supposed to, at the end, throw her out of the car and leave her.
Oh, and they changed it.
They gave it the old
Damn.
Hollywood ending.
Damn.
Gave it the Hollywood ending. They
Yeah.
were going to get harsh with it.
Do you think Richard Gere was like, please change the ending to this movie?
I think it was
Or
her.
people are going to fucking hate me. Yeah.
It was Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
I think that.
It was like, this is bullshit.
I don't think I can do this.
And they're like, ma'am, this is.
Have you seen Mystic Pizza? I don't do garbage, okay?
Ma'am, this is actually the most realistic depiction of the horrible industry that preys upon women. Are you we'll make it a happy ending. It's fine.
So I've got now I think I'm going to keep this set up for a while where I've got a living room game and a bedroom game.
Oh, okay. Tell us about
So-
the bedroom games.
It's just BioShock Remastered.
Which one of you is the big daddy?
and the little sister.
You know. you know.
Melissa.
I like the drill hand. No, but so like if Melissa or Jack are asleep, then I'm gonna play the living room game.
Yeah.
But the PS5 was not touched. Like Artsy AJ played Miles Morales. Once she finished that, it just was untouched.
She have that physical or digital?
Physical.
Man, ask her if I can borrow that.
Okay, yeah.
I'll trade her. Whatever.
She doesn't play it at all, so yeah, you can take it. She didn't touch it at all until I bought her Overwatch. So now it's just like who gets the living room TV first? Because I've got Persona 5 on the PS5, and then BioShock Remastered in the bedroom, floating in between, whichever I can't get to
Gotcha.
first.
But if you want to get her off that Overwatch and just be a total killjoy and be like, Blizzard's going through a lot of legal problems right now. You want to hear about those? Apparently, they don't treat women very well.
I mean, she also is a animal rights advocate, but she eats plenty of chicken. So she'd probably be like, I can get over that.
Can't stop that girl from slitting pandas' throats.
Overwatch is fun. What can I say?
Yeah, they pushed back Overwatch 2
Yeah, I heard
and
that
Diablo
they
4.
done that.
Yeah,
Which is probably
smart.
Smart.
That's
Good idea.
Yeah, get a little air, a little breathing
We'll
room.
get a little of the stink off of this.
I think this is like the thing where it's like they're Activision, like full 100% out. Like I think
Yeah.
that's what's. I mean, they're going to still be Blizzard, but I mean, they ain't going to be Blizzard. You know what I mean?
Not
They have a Blizzard
Blizzard,
name on it,
yeah.
but yeah.
Persona 5 is really, really good, though.
That's
I
the-
really, really
that's
like
the
Persona
living room
5.
game?
That's the living room
Yeah.
game.
Like I was asking
I
you.
find myself wanting to do more of the high school side than the Phantom Thieves side, where you're in a dungeon and shit.
Okay, so the high school side, is that like the social aspect of the game? Okay.
Yep. So like, because all personas are, there is usually some dream type world that certain people can access where like the evil shit is going down. And then there's the real life world. And the stronger you are, the more relationships and stronger relationships you have in the real world affect how powerful you are in the dream world.
Okay.
So you're in a high schooler you're raising your knowledge, guts, proficiency, kindness, and something else. Like there are your stats that you're working on. There's certain ways to raise those, and then certain people you will have relationships with and they're ranked like 1 to 10, and the more time you spend with them, get them gifts, answer the questions the right way, that builds up. And the stronger, because it's all built on like the tarot. So
Okay.
you'll befriend someone who represents the chariot, and the higher your relationship with the chariot, whenever you want to make a persona that is also of the chariot, because all the monsters in the game are also based on the tarot.
Okay.
Anything you make from the chariot will be stronger. So you're trying to raise your relationship so you're stronger in the dream world to do whatever the task is in any given persona.
Gotcha.
In Persona 5, you are the Phantom Thieves. There's I didn't dig it at first because there's sort of a stealth aspect to it, but I got over it. It's okay. That might be why I like the other side more than
the high
the dream
school,
world.
yeah.
But in the dream world, you see people's desires for what they really are, and like people who are fucked up criminals, you can go inside they have a big enough personality and they're twisted enough, they'll have their own dungeon. You go through that dungeon and you make them have a complete repentant change of heart that then in the real world, whatever their crimes are, they will confess for.
Gotcha.
So the Phantom Thieves are going around all these people who are monsters.
Incepting monsters, essentially.
Yeah. So basically, in the first one, the high school volleyball coach is sexually harassing students, sexually blackmailing students, and physically abusing the volleyball team. He's going to expel you and not your friends, so you have to go into his palace, his dungeon, confront the dream him, and then when you do that, then in real life, he goes in front of the school board and confesses what he's done and goes to jail and shit like that. So I just finished the second one of those, and Persona, they're good. They're very good games.
How many hours are you into it?
24.
Okay. All right. So you're probably like 20% of the game?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what keeps me away from that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that.
It's easy to you'll sit there and just play and not realize how fast it goes. So it's not like it's a slog. It's just it's actively enjoyable.
I did try it for a little bit. This was months ago, maybe even a year ago.
I can see where it's super overwhelming.
Yeah, it kind of, and honestly, I like stylistic things, but something about the style, honestly, just kind of was like, I don't know. And look, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but I will say that the style kind of rubbed me in a real just kind of felt try hard a little bit. It was they're they're really going for it. They're going out of their way to make this stylish, as opposed to just
the other ones weren't quite this over the top with it.
Yeah,
3 and 4 weren't this over the top. But
sure,
one thing I think there is a lot they throw at you pretty quickly. But I like with the PS5 version, you can, if it's online, you can join the Thieves Guild. So at any time you can sort of press the big white button on the PS5 and all the options. It'll show if you sign up for the Thieves Guild, it tracks what you're doing in the game. So then you can see on this day, because it's also you have 1 year in the game that you're doing. So
or the moon crashes into the earth.
Right. It will pull up. Here's what other players did on this day.
Okay.
So then you can kind of see.
Cool.
Oh, here are my options that I have. I can do this and this and this.
Yeah, that's neat.
Here's what most people did.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps a lot because it is overwhelming the sheer amount of shit you can do once it stops being linear.
That's cool. I like that.
So
Yeah, I've been tempted to give it another shot just because it's I played it for one evening and was just kind of, like I said, it was less overwhelming and more just
I might honestly start with 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And see if you like that before you try 5.
I heard great things about 4, so.
I think 3 might be
really
my favorite.
What did 3 come out on? PS?
I played it on Vita.
3? Oh, Vita. Oh, okay. I don't know if I can wrest the Vita from Henry's hot little hands.
Yeah. Minecraft.
Yeah, no one's killed his first bird yet. Man, I played a game called World of Horror that I think you would enjoy.
Yeah.
I finished Junji Ito's Tomie. So I finished that, and then on Halloween, I went ahead and streamed. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, but I'm sticking to that. I'm just going to stream what I want to stream, and then, gameplay for the game we're talking about will take place somewhere else kind of deal. So I was like, man, this World of Horror game, I wanted to play something spooky. And it's this is one that's been on my radar for a long time. I saw it on itch.io maybe 9 months ago. And it is a 1 or 2-bit style Mac venture point and click adventure. But it's what I like about it is it has that style, but it's heavily inspired by Junji Ito and H.P. Lovecraft. The art style is very Ito-esque, but the themes are very Lovecraftian. It felt a lot to me like a video game version of Arkham Horror, but a little bit crunchier because it's you play as there are 2 different stories you can go through, 2 different adventures, but then there's also a randomized mode where it's every game has every time you start a game, it has 5 different mysteries. Those mysteries are randomized, and different elements of the story, what allies you have, are randomized, and so there's different things at play, and you have it gave me vibes of tabletop Call of Cthulhu, but like much faster. Like honest, and please don't take this the wrong way. I mean this as a compliment. You run Call of Cthulhu in a way that I like to play it. I've played in other Call of Cthulhu games that are very slow and drawn out.
And you're dead.
And you're dead. Yeah. And it's like, well, I feel like I've wasted a lot of time because I sat through a lot of stuff that wasn't like super fun, and then I died immediately. I like how you do it because it's pulpier. It's more it's like action oriented, but like with consequences. It's not like D&D style where it's like, you know,
you don't kick in the door, but you're gonna have to fight, and they're
right, and it could be, and it can be deadly, yeah. So, but it feels a lot like that. Clambro, Cody Phillips, he showed up because he's been playing this game for like 2 years. It's still in early access, like it's version 0.9. So it's like they're close.
Shit.
But it is like, it's really fucking cool, and it's cheap. It's like $15 normally. I bought it on sale for like $13, and it is like absolutely worth it. On the website, there's like a Switch logo, but I think for right now, it might just be PC. Keep an eye out for it because like it's cool. It's a very cool experience, and it is like disturbing, but like the 2-bit, 1-bit nature of it like takes that edge off. So it's like you see disturbing shit. Like there's one mystery that's about fucking like there's this teacher.
Period.
Yeah.
Just about fucking.
Yeah, sorry, I say fucking a lot. It's about. I'll fix that. There's a teacher.
Don't ever fix that.
And,
there's nothing broken.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's a teacher, and he is obsessed with eels, and it's like, okay, that doesn't sound too weird.
But we still don't know how they reproduce.
We don't know how eels reproduce.
Nope.
Maybe the same eels we have today are the eels from thousands of years ago.
I hope so.
And they just never die.
I hope they just reincarnate after we eat one.
Yeah. You know how poop kind of looks like an eel? Think about it.
Facts. Canada. Think about it.
Interstates.
So, so there's like this teacher who's like obsessed with eels, and you're like, okay. And like, there's like these reports that like he's found some like he's got weird specimens and stuff. And you're like, okay. And you go and you investigate it. And like your neighbor is like, it's real obsessed about it too. And like she takes a specimen, and it like she gets obsessed about it. And so like you like watch her spiral into madness over this. And it gets to a point where it's like she's fucking around with the specimen, and like you walk in and there's this scene of her where she's like, her eye looks fucking horrible. And she's like, it got in my eye. And you're like, what got in my eye? And like she moves her hand down, and it's like all nasty. And you get 2 options: take her to the hospital or gouge her eye out. And it's like, holy shit, this got real. So Clambro is in chat, and he's like, gouge her eye out. And I'm like, well, I guess we kind of got it, right? Because I don't know what's going to happen. If you take her to the hospital, she might die on the way there. So I click gouge her eye out. The next fucking thing is a close-up of her eye and you with a fucking sewing needle. And it's like you have to drag the needle over on top of her eye. And it's like, oh my God, this is horrible. And then you click it, like the screen goes black, you know. So you don't like really see anything. But I mean, it's like, it's enough to be like, oh, that was horrible. And then, she's like, it cuts to like her in the hospital. She's like, thanks for gouging my eye out. I was going to die. And it's like, that makes me feel a little better. That was horrific.
But it's the only scene in like Dead Space 2 that made me cringe.
I didn't play all of Dead Space 2. It was a little too action.
Close to the end, there's a part where you have to like make yourself stay still and insert a needle into your eye to extract something.
Yeah,
and it gets super close up, and like the closer you get, the more the controller vibrates while the needle is like right there on your eye.
Well, that reminds me of Heavy Rain with like the chopping your finger off thing. You remember that? Yeah. So
but if you don't, it's still the same.
Yeah, I know, right? So if you're
illusion of choice,
if you're into gouging eyes out, check out World of Horror. It is actually really, really neat, and like the combat system's very cool because you've got this bar. Everything's based on how much shit you can do within a certain amount of time. and it's like you fill up that bar with actions, and you can do whatever actions you want. There are attack options, there are support options. You can run, which is a good idea a lot of times. There's this whole system for like exercising spirits, and you can try that stuff. It's very, 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 very cool. Highly recommend. My biggest concern, I've been playing it recently. My biggest concern is that I'm going to start seeing the same content. And I'm hoping that the randomization is enough to like
keep it fresh.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of a scary game this past week.
What'd you play?
Doki Literature Club.
Yeah. Did you?
Yes.
I finished it. I finished one run through, and I'm at the point now where I need to reset it back to default and take other options. I didn't remember that I didn't remember shit.
Good. All right. So you had some surprises.
I got a good experience. I had a nice set of very important saves that I lost. I picked up on Monica quick.
Yeah.
I started figuring out real quick that there was something about her. And then there was the scene that I kind of saw coming, but I didn't. It's like when everything changes.
Yeah.
And your first character is deleted, and it keeps glitching, and it's that shit was like really cool. And then that one scene I'm talking about, and I guess you've talked about the game.
Spoilers for Doki Doki Literature Club. Skip ahead 2 minutes.
Go back and listen to our episode about it. Stop now. Go listen to that episode and come back.
All episodes from then until current.
Yes.
and then you're ready to listen to this.
Sayori kills herself because you don't tell her you love her.
Right.
Which was one of my saves. I was going to go back and do it from my I love you standpoint instead of friend zoning her. She hangs herself. And then, like, you're dealing with Yuri. You're dealing with Yuri's story, and she's getting super obsessed. And the part where there's a part in it where you're talking to her, and she's just like, I love you so much, I want to kill myself. And so,
yeah, baby.
During that whole scene, the poster, a picture of Sayori hanging from the ceiling, was on the back wall of the classroom, and I was just like, it gave me chills. I was like, God damn, this is freaking me out. And then I'm like, okay, I know what to do. I love you. Stab.
Splort.
Right there. And then you got to sit there for the whole weekend while text scrolls
and watch
across,
her rot.
and watch her skin turn gray and everything. And God, it was really neat.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near finished.
She was my favorite. That was like
Yuri the most.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree. I liked Sayori too. I mean, I thought she was okay, but I've still got a lot to do. I mean, I'm like 37% through with it. You know, I've unlocked 37% of the content. So I'm going to go back and do it again and again until and there's some bonus content now. They have these things that are like mini games, but they're just really, you don't do anything. You don't have to make choices. It just sort of, it's like when Monica and Sayori meet and they're trying to figure out how to start the club. And you kind of you're getting backstory from it basically, which is neat. And then there's some more art. There's like sketch art and, you can get in and do the music and stuff. But the way that they've done
poems.
Yeah. And the way that they've done the computer thing. So, like in Windows, you would go to the character folder and delete the character. Okay.
Right.
So when this thing boots up, it boots into the game, but then you can exit to Metaverse, and it's an operating system, and it's like Windows, and you go in, and then you can get into the file system and access and open and delete files and run scripts and all that kind of stuff. So, and then when it shuts down, it shows like the BIOS and stuff, and then it exits. And so they integrated the PC experience into the game, into the console, fairly well.
Cool.
I think I would have liked to have done it the way it was intended to be done on Windows, where you're actually doing the stuff in Windows to whatever.
So I was like, "What? Am I going to fuck
Am
this
I going to
up?"
fuck the
Yeah.
game up?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
but it's really cool
And you
the way
do.
in the good way,
Right.
But it's really cool the way they've built all that shit in there, and the occasional flash, or you'll see Yuri with all the cuts all over her while she's talking to you in the hallway.
man. Yeah.
It's just crazy how they and like at one point I was talking to her and I was like, I found myself getting right up next to the screen, like talking to Yuri. I'm like,
Show him
is
to
there
me.
is there an eye? Is there a face? Is that's it kept getting a little easier to see. Is Monica like fading in behind her, like as if she were the driving force behind it? It was creepy as fuck. I loved it though.
Yeah.
I mean, just so good.
Man, I love
It's
it.
one of the
when-
most creative titles I've played in a long time. Just somebody really put some super hardcore love into this one. It's fun.
I love
Really
it when
fun.
games like do the extra mile and do like little details and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you talking about that reminded me of something in World of Horror. Like the other night I was playing it and I heard Henry get up out of bed. So I was like, okay, gonna minimize this, go check on him, make sure everything's okay. Everything was. And then I was like, well, while I'm up, got these little candy bars, gonna eat a couple of those, and then grab a drink, use the bathroom, come back. So I was gone for maybe 10 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes. And so I open up the window. I maximize the window to play. And there's a dude standing there looking out at me for a split second. And he like disappears. So it's like programmed in where it's like if you AFK or minimize it, I'm not sure which, this guy shows up. And then, you come back in and it's just like, I mean, for like, I couldn't even tell you what he looked like. It was just like a figure of a man.
It's like the
there.
dick in Fight Club, just one frame.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I gotta look for the cigarette
There's
burn.
cigarette burn. Yeah.
But I thought that I love it when games do. I love that shit.
It's fun. I'm having a really good
Good.
time with it,
I'm
and
really glad to
I'm
hear
going to
that.
take it slow on the. I'm not going to try to binge through this one. I'm going to come back to it this week, and then maybe I'll hit it again for a run through next week, and just take my time with it
Nice.
because I'm enjoying it a lot.
Nice, I love it.
I love the game. Highly and definitely listen to the episode, but then wait. Like 2 years to play the game after that, so you don't get spoiled on everything. 'Cause I remembered the general concept of the game, and I remember listening to you and Chandra and everybody talking about it.
Yeah,
But everything was still a surprise to me. Everything got out of my head. I've
enough time
had passed, so it was. But I retained enough to know that it sounded like something I was going to enjoy. So thanks for that. It's a really fun game.
Cool, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
We'll have to get you a Yuri body pillow.
Oh, that'd probably go over really well at home.
So, speaking of games that we love, how'd you guys feel about Super Valis 4?
Super Valis 4.
Meh.
Well, I never heard of it.
Oh, well,
Perfect. Do you have any questions?
It's a game.
Is it a video game?
for the Super Nintendo that is in the Switch online Super NES library that we're playing through right now. Which we're almost done with.
Jogged my memory. Yeah, we got 3 more games.
Yep.
2 of them are sports games.
Yeah.
Fun. I can tell you that this. How much do you want me to say about it? Are you
Super Valis 4?
Yeah.
Just talk, baby.
They based it on the PC Engine version of the game, which was only released in Japan. Obviously, PC Engine. PC Engine has a lot more memory and a lot more processing power than a Super Nintendo, and it is way more involved. It's a completely different game. It looks mostly the same.
I didn't get to
Turning
see
a
it.
car into a bicycle.
Pretty much. They stripped it down. Like I've got a couple of things here about that.
Well, real quick, do you want to? Do you hear that though?
I do hear that. It sounds like a body pillow stabbing a man while his wife.
Oh, have it be meta. See if Tanya will stab it.
Yes, while his wife stabs it back.
You're making the pillow hornier.
She likes that.
Of course, I hear that, which ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads Some Wikipedia. Valis 4 is a platform game developed and published by Telenet Japan for the PC Engine Super CD-ROM, and that's really important.
Yes,
the CD-ROM
it's a
part's
CD-ROM.
really important. In 1991, exclusively in Japan. A vastly different version titled Super Valis IV, or Super Valis Akiki Tsuki no Otome, or Red Moon Rising Maiden, was published for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1992.
Sounds like she's just on her period.
and everyone's real like fucking like about it. Oh, you got a sword?
Somebody's having a bad week.
Yeah, because it's the 90s. Dude, how is it that everybody in the world did that? I feel like when I was a kid, and it's like, was that just me? Like, I remember hearing like so many fucking like,
Yeah.
like even my dad would do it.
That
Like
and
everyone did that. Yeah, well, I think that still exists. I don't know if still exists.
Well, when you talk about girls getting a fight, cat fight.
Yeah, that is true. I don't hang. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the crowd I
In
hang
case
out
anybody
with.
didn't know, there was a cat noise. It's like, why do they keep going?
Is everyone okay over there?
They can't see the clearly cat-like gesture that is made.
Which we're doing every time because it's part of it.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
It's a good medium for that.
Yeah. So the Super Nintendo version was published in 1992 by Atlas Software, and it was the final release of the Valis series in North America. I have a fun fact. There is one other Valis game that came out after this, and it was a porn game.
Oh, really?
Makes sense.
Yep.
Like that. Like
watch the
on
playthrough
TikTok.
of that one?
Makes sense. Right. Good.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's and not received well. Yeah,
Go figure.
Weird that fans of this series would feel, I don't know, betrayed that they were sold the rights to a company that made porn games. I think this is the only Valis game to come out on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
I think they
Yeah.
generally existed on like the PC Engine.
Yeah.
But I think later on, most of them got ports to the Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive.
Okay.
But it was like years later because I think Valis 1 showed up on the Genesis in like 93.
Okay.
Which is like, years after even
the first
Valis 4.
one.
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, this one, I watched the playthrough, or at least probably half. It was about an hour and a half long playthrough of Valis 4, not Super Valis 4. On YouTube, it was all in Japanese. Obviously, it never got an English translation.
Sure.
The opening scenes are animated, and there are voiceovers, like doing the dialogue. They're talking, but they're the same. The stills that are used in the SNES version are the same stills.
Like they're pulled from.
They're pulled from that.
Okay.
But they're obviously on the Super NES, not animated. There's no voices. It's a very short summary of what's going on. But the opening of this game on the PC Engine CD-ROM is long. It's like 3 or 4 minutes long dialogue, and of the villains, of the bad guys or whatever, talking about what's going on. Couldn't understand what they were saying because I do not speak Japanese. But the graphics were better, but it was like they used the same sprite in that as they did on the Super NES version of the main character, of the one you play. But in the Valis 4, you could switch between characters.
Oh, that's cool.
So one of them was had a bit of a higher jump and a weapon that was a little bit of a ranged weapon. And then in one level, there's this great big robot-looking dude, and you switch with him, and he fires the weapon that looks like the wolf's head.
Okay, yeah.
All
that
the time.
follows the ground.
But all the time.
Okay.
You have a magic bar that lets you it builds up over time, and that's how you use your magic items, whereas in Super Valis 4, you pick up an item that's like a magical ranged weapon, like a fireball or this wolf's head that travels along the ground.
Or like a homing
missile
thing,
or
essentially.
like a spread gun. but you pick that, you equip it, and then you've only got X number of uses of that weapon before it goes away and you have to pick it up again.
If you could pull the Dave move, which is accidentally activate another power up.
Oh, I've got an achievement
nullifying the one that you currently have activated.
Right. So if you get 20 shots out of this one weapon and you've used 5 and you accidentally hit the button that puts it in the use slot of one of the ones you have in stock.
Yeah, because you can hold up to like 5 of them, right? Something like that.
And it wipes away the power up that you already have equipped. It doesn't put it back in your inventory.
Right.
It just gone.
It's gone. And that is honestly, I think,
Open a Coke, take a sip, throw the full Coke away, open another Coke, take a sip.
That's exactly what it is.
that's how I live my life, except for instead of throwing it away, I put it on the nightstand.
Yeah, there you go.
And then days later, I'm like, that's weird. I didn't drink this. Well, guess I'll pour it down the sink.
Or I'll do that and be like, I'm going to chug this flat Coke.
Oh, no. Because here's my mind starts doing this. There are spiders in that can.
The worst it ever was, because I would always, all of my children love to open cans and take 2 drinks and then just leave them. So I drink a lot of flat Coke. I don't like.
Am I your child? I'm starting to wonder.
Well, it was the worst one time when I got in the van to go somewhere, and I was like, "Fuck, I need to take I had like ibuprofen. Like, I need to take this." So I took it. I was like, "What is around?" Oh, a Diet Coke. Okay. When I grabbed it and drank it, this is when Melissa smoked, and it was her ashtray.
Yeah,
so I got to
baby.
get ashy Coke.
Oof.
I've done that before to myself, where it's been like, because like I said, I leave a lot of fucking cans laying around. Sometimes you pick up the wrong can.
I'm weird about that. I won't leave stuff laying around like that because I'm afraid I'm going to pick up the wrong can.
Because you're an adult.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you have your shit together.
Yeah. Do I?
Unlike
if that's the barometer.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Don't question it.
Pretty much
It
the
is.
only thing.
unlike the inventory system in Super Valis 4, which does not have its shit together.
It does not. Also,
It has 40 water bottles on its nightstand.
Yeah, it really does.
It doesn't have shit together.
But I think, and I know we're not like into this yet, but I honestly do think that inventory system is the worst thing about Super Valis 4.
I'd say that's probably accurate.
Not comparing it even to Valis 4.
And there's no comparison because the other game is.
And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's
not
fair.
fair. It's just a shame.
Yeah, I get
because
that.
this would have been. I would have rather had access to. I would have rather they put if they could have. I realized there was probably space requirements and constraints there that wouldn't have worked. But
That's why
Valis
I want to play
4
Doom
looked,
on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I hear that suffers from the same thing terribly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm here for it.
But there's in Valis 4 you've got 1-ups. You don't. So in Super Valis 4 you basically have a life bar, but unlimited continues.
Yeah, and I think that might depend on what difficulty you're playing the game on.
Well, and I can weigh in on that.
Okay, good.
Because
I just played it on normal. That's all I played it on.
I'm not going to talk much more about Valis 4.
Okay.
Other than there's power-ups, 1-ups, things that you can pick up as you go along that either increase your health, which you did not get. You do not get health increases except for the one inventory item that's a heart.
Right, which you'd have to equip and then use.
And equip it and use it, which is hard.
It is.
To do rather than just giving you health, which would be nice.
They do let you do it. You can pause the game and do it from there. You can activate any of the items from the pause screen, which is nice.
That is cool.
They do like allow you, like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we realize that this is a lot to fucking juggle while you're fighting enemies, dodging lasers and shit.
Yeah.
So you can pause the game.
And eyeballs thrown by spider shells.
Right. Yeah. Head crabs and whatnot.
Super Valis 4 was essentially just a
Fever
bare
dream.
bones, stripped down version of a far superior game that we just never had access to.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. That being said, when you first start the game, you have the option to choose either normal or hard level of play. If you go into, first thing you can do, if you hold down the shoulder buttons and start a new game,
you can play as a different character.
It's a different costume
from
Valis 3. It's her costume from Valis 3.
Yuko is her name, maybe?
Yeah. And I think Yuko is in Valis 4, and that's who you switch between.
Gotcha.
You and Yuko and one other. person.
I think she was the main character in the series up until Super Valis 4.
Okay. Oh yeah, actually, based on the cutscene in Valis 4,
Because you
I
meet
could
her in
kinda
heaven,
tell
right? Like
something like
yeah,
that.
It's weird.
Yeah,
you
it's-
meet her in heaven, she gives you the sword. She's like, "Kill Gallagher, this evil guy."
Right.
And you're like, "Okay,
Save the watermelon.
right,
Please,
yes."
or else he
I-
squish your head with a mallet.
I played this game initially on hard because I didn't realize the cursor is red.
Yep.
Which is dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah,
Well, when you go into that option menu, you hit left, right, BBYY, and then now you have the option to play as easy.
right. Baby, get it?
Baby
BBYY.
mode. BBYY. If you go in, when you go into easy mode, first of all, obviously you take less damage from enemies hitting you and stuff. Second of all, the enemies that would shoot things at you, like, you know how those little walking squid looking things would.
Throw the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah, they don't shoot those at you.
Oh, that's nice of them.
The little dragons in the water level that's making the rocks fall, they still shoot at you, but they don't shoot and rocks don't fall.
Gotcha.
When you die, you pick up on the level you're on and not the beginning of the stage.
Okay.
So like if I was playing on easy just
So
for
there's
the
like
hell
a
of it.
checkpoint kind of.
When you clear a level,
Each zone you start out from.
you start out there. So
Okay.
like I got through one level and it was it was the boss and I died. When I came back, it started me there
Oh, at the
instead of
boss.
at the beginning
Oh,
of
that's
the
very.
stage.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, and also when in normal or hard, when you clear a level, you get most of your health back. On easy, you get it all back.
You get it all back. Okay.
They start you off on easy. They start you off with a full inventory.
Okay.
And hearts are 3 uses instead of 2.
Oh wow.
So
That's
you can
helpful.
really pump it up.
Did they change armor at all?
Armor, I don't know if there were more. If you get the armor power up and you wear it, you get 2 hits without taking damage. I don't know. I never got to try it on easy with the armor.
Okay.
I don't know if it gives you 3 hits, but I would imagine it does because there was a lot of things about the easy mode that made it a lot
That made it easier.
And it was good for, I got through 3 or 4 levels on normal before I kind of noped out. I was just kind of over it. But I did go back and play it again on easy just for fun to see what the differences were and how much further I could get. And it was okay.
Yeah.
It was, it is what it is.
I liked it. I liked it.
It's Castlevania without the charm.
I wanna,
Yeah.
also, that armor, I want to point out, since it looks like an 80s anime, of course the armor is the chainmail bikini type thing that just...
With the
triangle
big
pauldrons.
You've got some World of
thing,
Warcraft
yeah.
pauldrons and a bra.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the original character is in a Japanese schoolgirl uniform, so I don't know if it's like.
I wouldn't even realize that.
I don't know if that's a lateral
I was
move.
like, oh,
or-
peasant clothes. Oh, no.
I like the game. If you're curious what all this looks like, I did a long play of it on normal. I'm proud of it because it's a no death long play.
Yeah. I watched that. I watched some of that. It was
Thank
good.
you for watching that. That's on the TADPOG YouTube channel. If anybody listening wants to check that out, check it out. You can see what the game's all about and kind of give you an idea of like, if it looks like it's up your alley or what the fuck we're even, like you can put a visual to what we're talking about.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I don't know that I really considered it to be anything special, and that inventory management was garbage. That I agree was probably the worst thing about this game, and it was a worst thing to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
the number of times that I accidentally got rid of something really important like armor
Or a heart.
Like the number
you
that
push
should be
X.
0 times.
It should
that
be.
should be 0 times, but through human error. I mean,
See,
the
what
first
I-
time I fought the final boss of the game, I accidentally got rid of armor, and it's like fuck.
Yeah, and what doesn't make sense to me is it did not have to be the way that it is. It didn't have to be, oh, we're going to take this thing out of your inventory and stick it in this slot, and
Right.
then you can use it with this button that's right next to the button that equips the thing that's up here.
Right.
They could have just made it be you select between them, and as you pick them up, and then if you fill it up, the last slot or the first slot gets replaced with something. That's a little bit easier for me to manage
Sure.
than accidentally throwing away
Which happened to me
power-ups
all the
and hearts.
time.
It did too.
Until
for
I
me.
just trained myself to be careful about
Right,
it.
exactly.
But you shouldn't have to train yourself to be careful
not
about
for
it.
something like that. Not for something so critical that can be lost
Right.
so
And fuck
easily.
condoms, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm with you
I don't
on
want to
there.
be careful. Fuck it.
I mean, I'm with you on that for sure. I can't go back. It's impossible.
Yeah, no.
Can't go
You'll
back.
never have to.
So, yeah, hopefully.
Unless Nikki gets a weird kink. It's like, no, wrap it up. Baby.
Oh, no. Yeah, I thought this was a very different Super Nintendo game. To me, it felt like a Sega Genesis
it did
game.
feel like a Sega Genesis
It's
game.
very fast. The sprites are small. It has the same like pace, and even
Yeah.
the music is. I mean, obviously it's using SNES hardware, but like it feels like a Sega Genesis game on the Super Nintendo.
I guess maybe it
really
reminded me
does.
a little bit the same kind of feel as like Altered Beast, but
Yeah,
with just with space.
yeah.
A lot more space.
Well, and that's the thing too. There's one part in the castle where you go up to different levels
But you don't
to get
have
out,
to. You can just run right.
or you run right out. But
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to talk about that, but please
you
go ahead.
there are sections of that game where you'll just run, and you just run the entire length
That's why I watched.
and not encounter an enemy.
I watched a playthrough early on. So I was like, oh, this is if it's not a shooter, I want to see what it is. And I watched a playthrough, and it was like, God, I don't want to play this game. I thought it looked so boring.
There was a
Because
lot of
there
boring
was so
parts.
much just like open area, like you didn't have to go to, not a lot of enemies, just sort of running, just sort of. It looked
Okay.
super basic.
Yes, I agree, and I was absolutely with you on that boat when I first started playing this because I was like, because it is very easy to avoid enemies in the first couple
That's
levels.
how I played. I just jumped over 'em.
And it's like, yeah, me too. And I was like, why would I fight these things when I can just bypass them all? Here's why. For every 10,000 points you get, your HP max goes up.
Yep.
So,
okay.
and also, this is what I think is one of the coolest things about this game. And this is like, it's redeeming
I think
almost
easy mode starts you at
with the max HP.
HP.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So there are two things at play that I love, and I think this is a really interesting part of this game because I've never played a game like this. So the faster you get through it, like if you're avoiding enemies, you will get to the boss with lower HP.
Yeah, the boss starts. You see the boss's hit point bar, health bar at the bottom of your screen at all times.
Yes.
And at the beginning of the level, it's half full.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But I mean yours. Like if you avoid enemies, you're essentially limiting how much HP you're gonna have.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is, yes, like you're saying, if you get to the boss quickly, it'll have less HP because it's slowly filling up as you're going to the level. I didn't realize that the first time I was
Me
playing
neither.
because I was like, I remember at some point I was like, I got to the boss and I was like, oh, that's his life meter?
And
oh shit.
that was only half full earlier. What the fuck?
And then it dawned on me, oh, that's the time limit is essentially how much health the boss is going to have when you fight him.
Yeah, and you can
I
take
think
as
that's
much
cool.
time as you want if you want to fight the boss at full health. But
Yeah.
you can rush right through it, and sometimes you can exit a level at multiple points. You just walk through the right side of the screen and you're on the next level. But sometimes you do have to go up higher to get to a specific point where you can exit, which I found confusing in some levels. But most of the time it was fine.
As you progress, like the first 3 levels, I feel like it is easy to bypass enemies, but it does get to a point where you feel like, okay, now they're designing it so that I have to fight enemies. Like there's an ice level called the Crystal Pillar, and it was the first stumbling block I had in this game. Like, I mean, it was difficult. Like it was to the point where it's like, do I actually want to like take the time to like be able to do a long play of this game? Like it was to that degree because it's like there are spikes because it's an ice level. So there are icicles, of course, and there are pits that you can fall in where it's like, you'll fall in a pit full of spikes and you'll just, instead of just killing you, you'll just, okay, yep, all right, it's just depleting my life slowly. And that's really super annoying. But like, there are like tight corridors and there will be enemies that look like Al from Full Metal Alchemist. They're like in the armor, but they have shields, and you have to wait for them to attack before you can attack them. And they take a lot of hits, and it's one of those situations where it's like, I can't jump. This enemy's so big, I can't jump over it. And even if I did, there are icicles on the ceiling, so we're not gonna risk that. So I guess my point is that as the game progresses, the level design changes, because I agree it's very open in like the first few levels, and it's almost kind of jarring that they all of a sudden kind of put you into like, okay, this is we designed a level and you were going to play this level this way, as opposed to like a more like the first few levels have like a Metroidvania style like feel to them, where it's like it feels like you're supposed to explore and find power-ups and stuff. But yeah, like the last half is very much like, here's your railroad.
Quick tangent on Metroidvanias. The Record of Lodoss War one looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
I've seen some gameplay of it.
Yeah.
I know Dalton, Guitar Man Dalton from the Steam Machine podcast, he's picked it up, and I think he had positive things to say about it. And I like the idea of playing as Deedlit. She's essentially like, she looked like she plays like Alucard to me. I mean, just based on the video I saw.
On Super Valis, I didn't think to check this after I watched the Valis 4 run through. Was there a slide move? Could you do a slide move with her?
No.
See, in Valis 4 you had that, and you could slide, and she could slide over fairly wide gaps.
That's nice.
Which would be nice in a level like you're talking about with spikes on the ceiling and shit, that you could just basically slide over it.
If you can slide in this game, I completely missed it.
Okay, because that's her thing. She's got a standard jump, but she can slide. But when you switch to Yuko, Yuko has a double jump. Like you can.
That also would have been nice. Yeah, you don't have that either in this game.
So I just I meant to go back and check and see if a slide was a thing in this, because that might have been the key to getting through some of those tricky areas.
And it's funny that you brought it up, because I even like checked to see if there was a slide, because when the main character in this game dies, Lena is her name. When Lena dies,
the Mighty Maiden.
Yeah, the Mighty Maiden, Lena. When she dies, she lays on her side, and it looks like a slide.
It's what she looks like sliding in Valis 4.
That's what made me.
It's the same sprite.
Okay. That's what made me try to slide.
But I did look at the game fact with the instructions. And it didn't mention a slide.
Yeah,
so,
and I read the instruction manual and didn't see that in there either. But
hey, it had one available. Nice.
Yeah. Had one available on through Peeb's archive.
It was fair to middling. I mean, I didn't hate it.
No,
but I don't think I'll probably play it anymore.
It reminded me of, which I loved as a kid. Going back to it, didn't care for it so much. It reminded me of Smart Ball, in that it was kind of basic. Jump and action button, wide levels, open spaces, got gradually harder, and so it's okay. It's okay.
It reminded me of 4 games.
Better than I thought it was going to be.
And I'm gonna list these 4 games, and everyone listening's gonna be like, "Fuck, that sounds like this is a really good game." But for whatever reason, maybe you guys can help me figure out why it didn't work as well as these 4 games. You mentioned one of them, Altered Beast, and I think it's just because like the background design, like especially like there's Babylon, that gave off like some real like Altered Beast vibes, and even like some of the enemies, like some of the bosses, because it's like some of the bosses are they're very mythical. Like the first boss you fight, and this ties in with the next game I'm going to mention. It reminded me of Castlevania. The first boss is Death from Castlevania. Like it just is
just like
Death.
him.
Throws his scythe like
does
he
the same shit Death does, and like name a Castlevania game, and he does it in it.
Yep.
The difference is you can hit the scythes and knock them out of the air, and if you stand right in the middle, he just flies right.
He'll
over
fly.
you.
You got to duck, but he'll fly right over you. He's a pushover, but he's the first level boss. He's not even one of Gallagher's generals. He's just like he's just the lord of this domain or whatever. So it kind of reminded me of Castlevania. It kind of reminded me of Ninja Gaiden, and that's because
you have to pronounce it correctly.
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, thank you.
the wizard style.
Yep.
And it reminded me of that because of the speed of the game. Like you can dash in this game, which felt really good to me.
It did. It had good.
The way she controlled was tight.
I like and I like that. And that's the
Jump
thing.
mechanics
There's too
were really good.
much slow floaty shit on the SNES.
Right.
This did well.
And in that regard, it was like I kept comparing this game versus Super Castlevania 4. And it was like not just because they're super and both games are super and the number 4, but it was just like, I don't know, man. Super Castlevania 4 is like a really slow plotting game, and this is like a game that's like playing with some of those ideas but doing it much, much quicker. Ultimately, I think Castlevania wins out just because it has polish and it like actually seems like it thought things through, which Super Valis 4 doesn't. But it was enough for me to like to think about it. And then the other game, the fourth game, it made me think about was ActRaiser, and it made me think of ActRaiser because of the boss gauntlet at the end of the game.
Whenever I saw it, because I didn't get that far playing it, but whenever I saw it, I was like, oh, fuck.
And like the bosses are more powerful this go round. You only have to fight the generals this time.
The Gundam on the tiger, yeah.
Yeah, which, man, how cool of a boss is that? It's a fucking Gundam on a tiger that breathes fire.
That throws the what is Sagat's, what does he call it?
Yoga Flame.
That's Dalzine.
That's Dalcine.
Oh.
Tiger uppercut, tiger knee.
Tiger knee.
Does he have a projectile where he?
He does. I don't know. I don't know.
It looked like Sagat's projectile.
Tiger Hadoken, probably not that.
I got past that boss by just hiding in the corner. He never. hit
you
me.
could turn in the corner and he can't. Yeah,
But
he'll
you
jump
got to
on
jump
you.
the fireball, but
Right.
he'll jump right next to you and turn around and shoot the other direction, and then you just unload on him.
He's one of the generals, so he shows back up in the boss gauntlet. There is a boss that has 3 forms, which
That was a tough one.
It is tough. I thought it was kind of cool.
The
'cause
mermaid.
It starts out as like, I guess, Medusa.
A statue.
Yeah. And then it's shooting like beams at you, and then that goes down pretty quick, and then it transforms into a harpy that shoots like apple jacks at you.
Yeah, flaming apple jacks.
Flaming apple jacks, of course. And then once you take her down, she becomes a super annoying mermaid that cannot be hit by normal means because she just swims under you at the bottom of the screen and periodically pops out and throws a fireball at you.
And you got to be within jump range to get to her, because half the time when I played her, of course, I took too long to get to her, so she had full fucking health.
I saw that
she didn't
fire,
stay up very long.
The fireball homing.
That homing is the way to go.
Yeah,
because you can hit her while she's swimming around.
I burned it by mistake.
Damn, yeah, of course you did, because it's Super Valis 4, baby.
I should have just rewound it, but I just said, fuck. I ended up beating her. It just took forever.
And then like she's programmed, like the AI for her is programmed like, oh, is she almost dead? She swims for a real fucking long time. And it's like, it's so stupid because it's like she's not hurting me while she's swimming around. Like, I don't know.
It was bad.
So that is pretty bad. And then you've got there's a boss that I swear, man, is like one of Magneto's acolytes. It's the dude where like it's a boss fight where you're standing on a pillar in the center of a screen.
He's Exodus coming in and out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's like Exodus because like he's coming and he like sends like these illusions of himself that you, and then there's one of them that's real that you have to dodge. He shows up again in the boss gauntlet, except he takes more hits to kill, and now all of a sudden he like fires his projectile and random like it changes. So it's great. I have to deal with this. And then there's a boss.
Have you seen my mirror image? A lot. He's casting mirror image a lot.
Yeah, a whole bunch. Blur. He's got all of the fucking defensive illusion spells on. And then there's this boss that is essentially a lot like the guy riding the tiger, except he doesn't have a tiger. He flies around.
He's an Ultraman villain, just kind of going across the screen.
He zooms across like Superman style across the screen, and essentially you just have to dodge that and then hit him when you can, kind of deal. He shows up in the boss gauntlet, and then there's Gallagher. And Gallagher, I don't know why he doesn't fight the entire fight from that throne he sits in, because at the very beginning of the fight he's on a throne in the background and just orbs are coming at you from the throne, and it's like eventually these are going to get me. Like I'm going to get tired.
You don't have to fight me at all.
I'm going to get tired of dodging these. Just sit there.
I literally cannot get to you.
It's fun. You're perfectly safe. This is going to work. You're going to win eventually. In 2 hours I'm going to be like, fuck it. Put the controller down. Eventually, he comes, once you dodge enough orbs, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to do this shit the manly way
Let's fight mano a mano.
with my shin guards.
Get out of your throne, grab an axe, be a man.
Yeah. So he comes down and starts fighting you. And really, at that point, it's just like, you'll hit him, he'll jump up in the air and try to slam down on you, and you dodge that. He apparently throws projectiles that drain your HP, but I don't know because he never hit me with
Because
those.
his ability was HP drain, etc.
Right? I know. Yeah, at the beginning of each fight, they tell you, like, what their abilities
Very
are.
Gunstar heroes of like what it
Yeah.
is and what their ability is.
Yeah, that's
the
that's a good
tiger
point.
one
It's true.
was jump and fire.
Right.
Well, it's also Mega Man's ability, so I get it.
That is true. That could be a very powerful combination. So anyway, he does this and this might have been Gallagher's HP drain. I don't know. He jumps in the air and does the stripper ping pong ball trick.
Okay.
Where giant
Somewhere
ping pong
Sean Miller
balls.
just
Came
to attention.
Giant, I swear, he jumps up in the air and his legs are apart, and then like 3 big white balls drop out of him, and you just
really want to avoid those.
you definitely want to avoid
For
that.
so many reasons.
And then eventually he comes down and you kill him, and it's all good. And then you get a cut scene where you go to heaven, and you're like, Yuko, I killed that Gallagher dude, and she's like, thank you. And then that ends, and there's a screen that says that grades you, how well you did. Did you get to the screen?
No.
I don't know how the fuck this works, but it's like they do items, and it's like 0 out of 100, and then it counts it up, and it's like, what is this? How many items? You got to collect 100 items in the game or something? And then it does time. That one's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. And then based on that, it down at the bottom of the screen, it will give you a grade. So the first time I got through this game, I did horribly. And I got Baby Rose or something. And it was a little sprite of a little baby that they had to have custom made.
That's your Steam handle.
Yeah. They had to have custom made for this screen because there are no babies in this game. So they're like, you know what we need? We need a baby sprite to put it at the end of the game. And then the second time I went through, this is on the long play, I got Amazon, which was and I felt like
That's good.
I got to the end, I was like, fuck yeah, I fucking did a good job. Nope, sure didn't. Those numbers, if it were an actual grade, D plus, and it's holy shit, I didn't even die. So I don't know. Apparently, that's supposed to motivate you to play this game over and over and over again. There's another long play on YouTube because I was like, fuck this, what did everyone else get?
Just like I was motivated to earn my father's love by how difficult it was.
Everyone else is getting Sage of the Ages and all this good shit. And it's well, I guess I'm just an Amazon.
I'm going to stick with Amazon because that's pretty good.
Because that's good enough for Dave.
Yeah.
So that's it. Did we miss anything?
No. There wasn't a lot to miss. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
It is straightforward. You attack with a sword. We didn't say that.
You have various, we talked about the various
Is it the Valis? Valis is the sword?
Yeah, it's the Sword of Valis or something like that, I think. I don't know. Good
Whenever
question.
you die, it's your grave marker. It's
unclear.
Right
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you have any achievements?
That's what I was just about to ask. I have one achievement. That achievement is, let me pull it up. That's not the name of the achievement. My first achievement and only achievement is Sledge-O-Matic. In order to unlock Sledge-O-Matic, you need to smash the final boss, Gallagher, much like Gallagher 1's brother did to him in the court system.
I have 2. First one I have is Candle in the Whiff.
Oh!
Try to hit the candles on the wall in the castle, Castlevania style, only to realize they're just decorative.
They're just, yeah, right. I love that. That's great.
And the second one I have is have a fucking heart. And to get that one, you accidentally equip a second heart while one is active, losing the first heart altogether.
Yeah. Hey, I got another one. Time Lord. In order to unlock Time Lord, it's just that achievement as well.
Yeah.
It's the only way to have two hearts at the
hearts.
same time, I guess.
I've got one as well.
Okay.
oh death, oh death, and die to death.
Nice.
Die to death.
Well, he's dead. He's got one job.
Die from death.
Man, when they started making budget cuts and Death has to start doing other jobs.
No, right?
I wear a lot of hats around here. He's fucking filling the water jug.
Funny, I'm only getting paid for my primary job, but I'm doing like 4 other people's jobs.
Hey, Dad, you working hard or hardly working?
That reminded me of Norm Macdonald doing what's his name? The Tonight Show.
Ed McMahon. Johnny
Letterman.
Carson?
Letterman.
Oh,
Norm
yeah.
Macdonald's Letterman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really. Got any gum? And they were really like friends, so that's what I feel like. Because like Norm didn't do many impressions, but like I feel like that's why like his Letterman is actually like a good impression. Like you wouldn't be fooled, like oh that's but you know who he's portraying.
His
and
Burt Reynolds was fucking spot
yeah, his
on.
Burt Reynolds was
Loved
very
it.
good.
So
Loved it.
much so that he still played the character as someone else. On My Name is Earl. So Burt
yeah.
Reynolds was on it, and he played Burt Reynolds' son in that character.
Right? Yes, yes. In the strip club, right?
Yeah.
The
He
strip
was like
club
the
owner.
super aggressive.
Yeah. Wow, I forgot about that.
Me too.
And also tying it back to Death, he played Death obviously in Family Guy. So there we go. It comes around full circle.
Nice.
Wow. We're good podcasters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We pretty much got this podcast thing
on lock.
nailed down.
It's only been
Unlock.
about 10 years. It's about time.
Yep. We've really come into our own. 10 years. Not even 10 years.
This game,
close.
like our podcast, is pretty okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty okay.
If you were to give this podcast or Super Valis a beard, what kind of beard would you give it?
I would give it because I know who I'm thinking of. She doesn't really have a beard. So the shiny would-be Disney princess beard of Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's just kind of vanilla.
Okay. All right.
It's vanilla.
I liked Wreck-It Ralph. I never saw Breaks the Internet.
It was
but
good, too.
It was good? Good. I'm glad to hear that.
It was consistent.
Good.
In the scene, there's a scene where she goes into this room and all the Disney princesses are in there.
Yep.
And they ask her all these questions as to whether
Do you
or not,
have magic hair?
Do you have
Do you
magic
have-
hair? Is everything you do because of a man and all this other just
Nice.
tropey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It was good.
I'm
They
gonna have
did
to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. It's as good as the first one, I think.
I need to watch those with Henry.
Yeah,
Because we just watched like he won. This is I don't know. Please stop me if I've talked about this on the show. So do you know? No, you guys know about a thing called the Donuts with Dad? Like does that like okay?
Moms and muffins and dads and donuts.
Right.
Yeah.
So like Henry comes home from school one day with like a little pack of Gem donuts, and he's opening it, and I'm like, "Hey, hook me up,
Bad tax.
hook me up, I'm
Bad
Dad."
tax.
And then Nikki comes in, and she's like, "Henry, you're supposed to wait till Dad gets home," and I'm like, "What is going on?" And she's like, "Donuts with Dad," because I hadn't heard about it, and she's like, you guys are supposed to eat those donuts, and then like take a photograph, and like then upload it to Facebook.
Oh, at Central it was different.
Oh, okay.
It was the dads would have to go have donuts
Yeah, it
in
used
the
to
morning.
be. We used to have to
at
go
school.
to the school.
Maybe it's a COVID
Probably.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Probably
it's a
COVID.
precaution. Because he came home with like a pack of like Gem donuts, and so I was like,
Wait
oh,
for dad. Fuck that.
yeah. So I was like, yeah, what do you say, son? Let's go eat these donuts. So we ate the donuts and then like took a photo. And then I was like, honey, could you please upload this to Facebook? I think it's evil, but it's okay if you use it. And then she did that. And then
I'm not going to Chick-fil-A, but if you bring it home, I'll eat it.
Yeah, fuck, I'll eat it.
yeah, I totally went to Chick-fil-A today. Of all days for that joke. But hear me out. I went to Best Buy and it's right there.
In my defense, it was very easy.
So we eat the donuts. She uploads the photo. And then Henry comes home with a basket one day. He comes home with a basket with candy, popcorn, and a DVD of Monsters University. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then he's like, we won. I was like, what did we win? Donuts with Dad. I was like, wait, was it a competition? Apparently, they randomly choose one of the photos on Facebook, and we won. So I'm like, you want to watch Monsters University on DVD? I'm sure we got Disney Plus. We can watch this in like anytime we want and much better quality. But fuck, man, we want this DVD. Let's put this in the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So we watched it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
it's
liked
pretty
it.
good.
I liked it. Yeah, it took us 3 sessions because it's a movie and he does have a bedtime.
I
So
thought you were gonna say when he came home with all the stuff, it was, oh no, Dad, this is for candy, popcorn, and Monsters University with Dad. Have you not heard about that?
school is awesome.
Monsters University with Mamos.
They get way more treats at school than I remember getting treats at school because it's like,
Forgot shit. at
dude, when he
school.
goes down like the list of like, I was like, what'd you have to eat today? And it's like, oh my God, like Kelsey brought snacks. And it's like, what were the snacks? And it's just like, what? Fucking like Skittles and shit? The kid just brings Skittles and it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it was rare for me when I was going to
That
school.
never happened. I don't remember. I mean, if we maybe occasionally had a birthday or something, but most of the time, Valentine's Day
was
about the only day.
And Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah.
And before Christmas, around the major kid holidays.
Yeah.
It was
The
something.
fat seasons.
But never in between. Rarely ever in between.
Yeah, same. So good for him. Lucky for him.
Yeah.
I guess. But then it's also, I have these conversations with him where it's like, dude, you eat like shit at school. What do you mean you want a treat? You've already had like 15 fucking treats,
Here's some
man.
carrots.
Yeah, right. I can't look.
Here's some square pizza you'll eat at home.
I can't contribute to your diabetes. Your public school is doing enough as it is.
So speaking of winning something.
Yeah.
So last weekend, I didn't win this unfortunately, but last weekend, Choco Chico wanted to go to Talon Falls.
Oh yeah, the spooky haunted house thing.
Massive. Like
Yeah,
I've
it's a
never
big deal
been.
around here.
I went 20 years ago when it was
okay.
just like a circle where people would jump out at you,
Yeah.
and you paid like
Yeah,
$5.
now it's like a fucking theme park almost.
Yeah, and it's a
huge.
permanent structures. Like you could just go in and just like sit by the fire and eat the concessions and shit like that, and then you pay to go into each of the haunted houses.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So you don't have to pay just to go in and sit around the fire?
Yeah, you can just go
that's
in.
neat.
So like the parents can go in and the kids can still.
Oh,
go.
I'm down.
That's cool. I mean, you said concessions. I do like that. I don't get
I
any.
mean, they're overpriced concessions, but yeah,
That's
they're
fine.
there.
I don't get any treats at work, so I can have as many as I want at the camp.
So we were sitting around the fire, and what is it? Because her and then 3 friends, they all went. They're going in the haunted houses. They went immediately to the big Talon Falls, which is the big one. It takes like 20 minutes to go through this haunted house.
That is a long.
Once they get out of that, then they just kind of stand around. They're too scared. They don't want to go into any of the others. And I was like, well, what is it, like $20? Melissa was like, no, $60.
What? How
Whoa.
much did you say?
I was like, what are the...
Did you say 16 or 60?
That's what I asked Melissa. Please clarify. No, 60. No. Each of these little girls paid $60 to come in here. Each.
They're
I was
making so much fucking money there.
You're fucking with me. She's like, no. I told you. I wasn't listening clearly.
Wow.
That is like
Wait,
Disney World.
60.
You didn't pay for all the kids, did you?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No.
That explains why you still have a house.
Because it was just like, oh, she's going into all these haunted houses.
Seriously.
Oh, wait. You pay 16, you can get into any that you want?
Yeah, you
yeah,
can go the
then, yeah.
ticket, and then you go to all the
Then, yeah, she has
main
the-
appeal.
then, yeah,
because they were
absolutely.
just like they just were walking around making TikToks and selfies. Like,
Oh,
no,
you're going.
Yeah.
You go in those goddamn haunted houses.
Walk the plank.
I don't care how
Walk
scared
the plank,
you are.
hook style. You're going in.
Yeah, you could go to Six
Lord.
Flags in St. Louis per person. It's like $35,
Yeah.
and you got a water park and the
It's
fucking
only
theme
$35
park.
bucks?
It's not,
Wow.
especially on like days where you they'll say bring a Coke,
Yeah.
or a canned
Like a
good,
canned good, yeah.
and then you get like a 50% off ticket, but it's $35-$40 to get in. That's all day,
Yeah.
and that's all the theme park and the water park.
Wow.
So
And it
fuck
was-
Talon Falls, if
and it
they're
was
charging
busy.
that much.
It was super busy.
I'm sure they're paying those high school students a good wage to jump out and scare kids, right?
Sure.
Oh, you mean all those grown men that are volunteers?
Oh no!
the grown men volunteers jumping out at the 15-year-old girls? Uh-huh.
No.
There is.
Wait. I don't know which part I'm more surprised about. The fact that the grown men are jumping out at the 15-year-old girls, or the fact, well, I guess that's why they're volunteering to do it. Never mind.
Yep. Yep.
Fuck.
Yikes.
That's creepy as fuck.
You know what'd be really scary? Pedophiles.
Happy Halloween! Is everybody scared?
No. Here, my 12-year-old stepdaughter, $60 for you to go in that big dark house with these volunteer grown men who were gonna grab at you.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Mr. Talon's making a fucking lot of money.
And he also,
I bet that insurance is expensive though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure it is.
Did you sign a waiver or anything? Like, is
No,
that involved? Okay.
I mean, maybe Melissa didn't buy the tickets. I don't
Yeah.
know. The guy who owns it also took Melissa's senior pictures. And so when she was 17, he was
Mine
like,
too.
hey, I've got a waterfall over here. Why don't you bring your bikini and we'll get you wet and take pictures?
Yeah, he didn't say that to me. Weirdly, I don't know. I don't understand.
So she did
I didn't get
that.
the waterfall pitch. What the fuck? What's wrong with me?
I even had my bikini with me.
I always
So
can't
she
wear
did it.
Like
I've never seen the pictures because once she got them home, her father was extraordinarily pissed.
Oh yeah.
He's Mr. Southern Baptist of the Year, and he was very mad that this grown man took pictures of his daughter in a bikini, soaking wet at his photography studio.
He didn't put him up in the kiosk in the hall, did he? It is weird to see. Like, I haven't seen senior photos in like a minute, but like when I used to walk through the mall back when that was a thing, and I would see the senior photos, I was sometimes very surprised because it's like, who's taking these? Because like some of these are like,
He graduated with my mother.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, he didn't try any waterfall business with me. I don't.
You got to tell me his name off mics, or on. I don't care. I just
Not
need to
on.
know if it's the same guy. I there's this one guy who took everyone's senior pictures.
Yeah, I
at
think
one
he's
point.
closed now. I don't think he's. I don't think he
Okay.
does the.
It might
I mean,
have.
with
He
Talon
might have,
Falls, why not?
he might have taken
Right.
mine too. Honestly,
Maybe.
Yep, that's the one. So he's the creepy dude running Talon Falls. I did not know that.
And we saw him. He was dressed as a regular security guard patrolling the area.
Yeah.
Because Melissa knew what he looked like. So
Right.
she's like, that's him.
Dude, if she had been wearing a bikini, that would have been the fucking best. That would have been so good. That would have been so good. Like she's got a trench coat and a bikini on underneath, and she's like, let's go to the
Where's
waterfall.
that waterfall? Give me $60. We'll be even.
Excuse me, do you have a waterfall around here?
But while we were doing that, while we were sitting around the fire and all that, and talking about me being shocked at the cost, so Lord Micah of Purdue has the condiment aisle Facebook group where we talk about condiments. I like it. He posted something from like Zanies where you were supposed to reply with your favorite condiment, and for a chance to win tickets to their lunch special or whatever, their like a matinee show. And so I was like, oh, I open it up and like everybody says ranch for their favorite condiment. Like every single person was like ranch. So I put in I said Hatch green chili sauce, sriracha, or Bear on the Air spicy hot sauce or
Okay.
barbecue sauce.
Good.
Yeah, the bear on the air stuff's good. Mhm.
Then 20 minutes later, I got a Facebook message. You've won tickets to Zanies or, I was
Nice.
like, oh, that's awesome. Hey, honey, do you want to go? And she just kind of made a face. She's like, I mean, I guess. She was like,
We did the Steve Martin thing, right?
That was pretty easy for you. That's pretty easy for you to win.
Remember that asshole at the restaurant? Do you really want to go through that shit again?
Yeah.
You can't scan a fucking code?
Even when they told me that I won, like they misspelled some stuff, and he's like, "Who's playing?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." So how much would it cost to go to Nashville for these free tickets? And I was like, "Yeah, probably a lot." Or I'm just not going to respond at all. I told the group, like, anybody want these? I won these tickets. Anybody want them? Crickets. So I was like, okay.
Huh. Yeah, that's
I offered to Micah, and he was like, I got shit to do, man.
Yeah, that's a tough sell unless someone is like performing there who you want to see. You know, you don't want to drive 4 or 5 hours round trip. Take a day
Halloween
off of work.
Eve.
Oh my God, on Halloween? No.
Eve.
Oh, okay. All right. But still.
Nah. Because you might get down there and it's just some open mic night or something.
Right.
You know, it's like, I've got tickets for this. Why do they even have tickets for
A
this?
guy who just eats condiments is his shtick.
Just stares at you,
Just
and
eating
judges
mustard.
you while he eats mustard. Which one of you said ranch?
Man, it would have been so great if you had gone though, like alone, and then like really played up. I'm the condiment guy.
I won.
I'm the condiment.
I won.
Hey, did you guys pay to get in here? I didn't. I'm the condiment guy.
It cost me $40 in gas, and I still have to buy 2 things while I'm here. Free tickets.
Do they make you do that? Do they
Yeah.
make you buy 2 drinks even?
Yeah,
Oh,
drink
fuck
minimum,
that.
even though you've paid for tickets.
Yep. Even when you pay for tickets, it's a 2-drink minimum when you go.
Weirdly,
That's
I
fucking
understand. Weirdly, I understand more if you've paid for the tickets. But if you win them through a condiment contest, I feel like you should not have to buy drinks because you won something. You don't pay shit when you know what I mean. Like I don't know. Yeah, fuck that.
I mean, I love Zanies though.
I mean, I'm hurt. You didn't ask me.
To go.
Yeah, I definitely would not have.
I think I did like, well, we could see if anybody wants to go. No one's going to want to go.
No, absolutely
Because it was
not.
up to 6 tickets.
Oh my
that I won.
God. Maybe if you're in the area, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if like, hey, Zanies is 10 minutes away. We can get a group
we
to go. Yeah. But yeah, that's a
I
lot.
should have said, Paul and Chandra, do you want to take your baby to a matinee comedy show?
You got to tell them that you're the condiment people.
It's in 12 hours. Here you go.
Should be
Oh
able
my
to
God, are
find
you
a sitter.
serious?
Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock at night when I won them, and it was a matinee show.
Oh my God, fuck that. Yeah, no way.
Oh, and it was a matinee.
Yeah.
Ugh. Even worse.
Yeah.
There's just a lot not going for that.
Yeah.
That's probably why they were giving away
them away.
6 tickets on Facebook for saying a condiment.
You should have been like, you should have replied back, can I get 20? And then they were like, yeah. And then you just don't go.
Cool, I'll see ya.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Hey guys,
Block.
we sold out the matinee for the first time ever. It was a giveaway, but they'll be here.
Don't worry, they're just going to buy 2
coming.
things, though.
I love you. Sounded like a 1950s actress.
A 1950s actress?
I'm sure they're gonna come.
Yeah. We're going to pack the house tonight. Just you wait.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses,
Oh, yeah.
that sums up how you feel about it. What kind of glasses would it be?
Hank Hill's glasses.
Because of all the propane and
They're-
propane accessories and
They're
Super Valve
comfortably average.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair. I like that.
I just want you to do it one time where you just say Hank Hill's glasses. No context.
Thanks for,
It's
thanks
my
for
answer.
listening.
It's my fucking answer. Okay.
It's the early episodes when I was like a brown beard.
I know, right? Yeah. You need to bring it back.
Horn rimmed glasses.
You need to bring it back.
Not like the mirror like sheen of a dead man's sweat.
You bring back brown beer, and I'll bring back talking weird. I am on a podcast and do not know how to talk. So why Hank Hill's?
I had like 3 lore tabs on that
they're
Mega Man X
comfortably
Street
average.
Fighter episode.
Comfortably average. That's right. Sorry, I forgot. I got so
I
sidetracked.
erased the context he already provided by saying that.
I
didn't
know.
I?
No. That's what we do here.
Yep.
This is our artisanal podcastery.
All about coulda, not shoulda. 9/11.
It is 9/11.
Hey!
Apropos of nothing, I looked at the time. It's 9/11.
You staged this.
I didn't.
Let me look at my phone and see if it's actually
You didn't
9/11.
It's probably not. Yeah, it is.
Good Lord, Ian.
I've done it to you too.
Oh, it is a curse.
It follows.
Fuck.
I'm probably possessed.
Probably.
I was hoping the pricing thing would happen at 9/11 so you could say 9/11 for the third week in a row and it actually be 9/11.
Actual retail value of this game is
$9.11.
But really, how much do you think this game is worth? If you were to buy it loose, on average, how much do you think you would pay?
I don't know. I'd say this one. I'd say this one was common.
Okay.
So I'd say probably $8.50.
All right. $8.50 for me, Ian. Tyler.
See,
let's say you.
I'd never heard of it. Mm-hmm. I know, in general, kind of a bad port of the original. For some reason, my gut went 2308.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. 2308. Actual retail value of Super Valis 4 for the Super Nintendo, loose, on average, according to PriceCharting.com, is $67.83. This is a very uncommon game.
Okay, I was way off on that one.
And that is why. Yeah,
Okay.
it has to be why. Because I don't think it's worth it. Like, even as a collector,
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Pre-pandemic, this was a $30 game. We're in that neighborhood, and I could see paying $30 for this game. But when you start to approach and exceed the cost of a brand new retail game, is kind of where you lose me a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the World of Horror is only $15, so I could buy that twice instead of buying this game.
And you
when
got it for 13.
Yeah, exactly, before the pandemic. So, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it, but I also don't think this is a bad game. I really don't. This is a game where I would play it again. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, but do you guys think this belongs on TADPOG's Top 100?
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
I think it lives
I don't
somewhere
either.
in the middle, in the gray.
Yeah.
Definitely not in the bottom.
I'd put it high middle. I'd
Yeah.
put it top 25%.
I'd say that's fair.
Okay.
But no, I agree. I don't think it belongs in the top 100. There are way worse Super Nintendo games that I've played, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Recently,
Like
yeah.
a few weeks
For the last
ago.
year.
Yeah. Then that's it. That takes care of that. I have a few more questions for you guys if you're up to the task.
Sure.
I have a quiz actually, before we do that,
Yes.
do you guys want to guess what Flopsy rated Super Valis 4?
I'd say 3 stars.
3 stars?
I think they're going to shit on it and call it a bad port of the original and dumbed down version and say 2 stars.
Okay. According to the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike, let's average those, and we've got it. So you guys are very fucking close. 2.5 stars. Yeah. Which, I don't know. I could see. Me personally, I'd probably give it 3, but 2.5 seems a little harsh. But I'm also not viewing it, and they do mention in the reflections, they do mention the original game. It's tough for me to because I never played that, obviously.
Right.
It's tough for me to view this as a port, because to me, it's just I don't know, it's a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, SNES Drunk was like, if you play all the others, you're going to hate this. If you have no context, you're going to think it's okay.
Yeah,
He's exactly
he was
right.
right, because I definitely thought it was okay. Okay. Now, I have a quiz from one Ross Rachel Green from across the pond, entitled, I Was Not Built for the Sea. Ross begins. As we all know by now, I live on a small rock in the Irish Sea. The Irish Sea has a reputation for not being the smoothest stretch of water in the world. My ferry crossing should have left at 8 a.m. on Sunday. It was canceled. The next crossing I could get was 3 p.m. Sunday. It's a long stretch. When crossings get canceled, the ferry company has a habit of just risking it to clear some backlog. The captain described the sea as...
It's very American of them.
It is very... You're right.
Yes, it is.
The captain described the sea as energetic before we set off. And he wasn't kidding. People were going off like
A horny bitch on her period, I'd say.
the sea was angry that day, my friends. People were going off like sprinklers. I only just avoided doing a stripy laugh while standing on the deck. The rest of the family didn't fare so well. Long story short, it was fucking awful. Not that flying would have been any better. It was windy AF. Still, I survived to tell the tale. Let's see if the crossing home on Sunday is better. Good luck, Ross. Anyway, 40 to 31, we are getting close to the top 10. P.S. I am sorry the quizzes are getting harder. As the games become more popular, the questions have to get more obscure, not to be gimmies. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally understand that. It doesn't mean we're going to stop giving you shit for it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would we be if not insulting to the guy who provides us a
provides
free quiz
content for the
every
show?
week?
Right,
Yeah, that
exactly.
takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
All right. First question, 40. This run-and-gun platformer features levels named Anything But Tangerines, The Villi People, and the final, Level 8. This is Earthworm Jim 2. I'm 100% positive, but I thought we already had Earthworm
We did
Jim
Earthworm
2.
Jim.
I know, but I also thought we had done Earthworm Jim 2. But there's no way,
I
because
think
this
we
is...
guessed it.
We
Okay,
guessed it for something.
That's what I'm getting confused, because this is 1,000% Earthworm Jim 2.
Do it.
Locking it in. It is Parodius. No, it's Earthworm Jim 2. Number 39.
Farmville.
It's Farmville. Remember when we did that episode on the Facebook game, Farmville? Yeah, here, we can do a quick review of it. So I woke up at 3 a.m. today to water some fucking fake corn, and then I went to bed.
I woke up every hour for 6 hours straight to pick strawberries.
I set my alarm at work so that I could stop working.
Blake did that. Blake did
I
that.
did
You
that too. Yeah. So yeah, me and Blake, and on that Farmville kick.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. 39. That's back.
Pay money, get the tractor, harvest 4 squares at once,
Invite friends to play the game so you could do that for free.
make 13 fake accounts that you take ADHD medicine and log in and out of for 8 hours straight.
Yeah, good old Farmville. I hope you enjoyed our Farmville episode. I'm going to cut that out.
It would be kind of funny to do a Farmville episode.
God.
But I think I've just did all my content.
Well, we'd have Nikki on. I'm sure she'd have something to say about Farmville.
Yeah, you're right. She did play pretty. I mean, we both played pretty hardcore until it was like essentially like, do you just want to play WoW? Sure, okay.
Should I spend $10 and get a unicorn for my farm? We're done.
Question 39. The SNES version of this game features a time trial mode and a 2-player versus fight mode. Okay, so this question implies that there were other versions of this game for other consoles. So that means it's probably not a first-party game. It features a time trial mode and a 2-player versus fight mode. Okay, so wait.
I think it would be some sort of racing game.
It does. This isn't Mario Kart, is it? Like, I know it's
Mario Kart's way higher.
higher than 39.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, racing
Mario
game.
Kart is a top 20 game.
Is it really? Okay.
Maybe,
Which I mean,
maybe even like
deservedly
top 15
so.
or top
Deservedly
10.
so. Okay, so I thought maybe he was trying to throw us off with the SNES version of this game. So what's a racing game that had? But it also says. The reason I thought Mario Kart is because it says 2-player versus fight mode, and you got the balloon mode in Mario Kart. There wasn't like Road Rash for Super Nintendo, so that's out.
Could it be a fighting game?
But what would you do in a time trial mode in a fighting game?
Also, I think every fighting game would have a 2-player versus fight mode.
Or a beat 'em up?
Might be a beat 'em up. Some beat 'em ups do definitely put versus fight modes in
Double
it.
Dragon and stuff.
Right, which we've already done.
Yeah, a long
and
time
Final
ago.
Fight, we've already done.
Yeah. I can't think of any then.
But that might be it. What have we done? Legend of the Mystical Ninja, has that been an answer yet?
I think I've guessed it, but I don't think we've done it yet.
I mean, there's that.
I mean, it could be.
I mean, that's kind of a beat 'em up, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and that's a good game. I feel like that might
It
be
is
a
a
good
good
enough
game.
game to be in the 30s. It's a little obscure, so maybe it wouldn't be in the 30s, but
Because I don't think we've actually gotten it yet. I think I've guessed it, but I don't think we've actually come across it.
I agree.
do we want to do that?
Sure.
All right. Okay.
If you think that's
I
what
got
it could
nothing
be,
I
I
got
don't know. I
nothing
don't have
better.
any answers.
It's a
Unless you
guess.
can fight each other in Contra Alien Wars.
I don't think that
that
you
was
can.
already an answer, wasn't
And
it?
I think I know we guessed it. I don't know if it was an answer or not. Shit. And I
Oh,
honestly,
that was no, it was because I think that was the one where wasn't that the one where I was trying to say that that's what it was, and we settled on something else. That
who
was,
knows?
I think that was the quiz we got 9 out
I
of
think
10.
was that Earthworm Jim where you said, I think it's Earthworm Jim. It was the Princess.
No, it was Earthworm Jim. Princess Slug for a butt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember a 2-player versus fight motor time trial.
I don't
in
either.
Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have nothing better.
All right,
don't either.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Locking it in. It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in Time. Ouch. Ouch.
I would have thought that would have been higher.
Ouch. That hurts. Okay, 38. This is the Nintendo's mascot's 4th showing on the list. All Stars?
Yeah. I'm good with All Stars.
Super Mario All Stars, locking it in. It is. What the fuck, man? This ain't right. Kirby's Dream Course.
Oh, no.
Now, wait a minute. Kirby is not Nintendo's mascot. That's not.
In no universe.
This is this.
I might call him a flagship, but not mascot.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Mario's their mascot. I
Yeah.
mean that. I feel like that's
Half
unfair.
credit.
We were led in the wrong direction.
This is this Nintendo's mascot's 4th showing on the list. So he does say this Nintendo's, I guess implying there are multiple Nintendo mascots. That's not the case. Mario's the fucking Nintendo mascot. That's like
Crash
Shenanigans.
it
Bandicoot?
is shenanigans. That's like saying that the Fry Guys are McDonald's mascot. It's fucking Ronald McDonald.
Right.
Birdie. Oh, the McDonald's mascot. Birdie. Everyone loves Birdie, right? Or Grimace.
Fucking Hamburglar. I mean, he's a hamburger guy.
Mary
so
McCheese. No, it's fucking, it's
The
Mario.
moon.
Yeah. Mac Tonight.
Back to
It's Mario. All right, 37. This game is a side-scrolling shooter starring real-world jet fighters. It packed in tons of power-up items, explosive boss battles, and even a running cash total for your pilots. Is this UN Squadron?
Yes.
We're good with this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
UN Squadron, locking it in. UN Squadron.
Good job.
Next question. I got the hankering to play that earlier today, and I was like, nope, got to work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
36. This game, via a code, featured the then president, Bill Clinton. NBA,
NBA
Jam,
James.
baby. NBA James, yes. Thank you for correcting me. NBA James, locking it in. It is, in fact, NBA James.
Nice.
35. Dr. Wright, the new host character. This is SimCity, by the way. Dr. Wright, the new host character and mascot for Nintendo, was created for this game, even went on to become a minor Nintendo star himself with cameo roles in The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This is SimCity, locking it in, and it is SimCity. Well done. 34. This RPG features a special dungeon called The Ancient Cave, a 99-level randomly generated
Lufia
dungeon.
2, Rise of the Sinistrals.
Yay, nice. Locking it in. It is Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. Maybe I need to give that game another shot because a 99-level randomly generated dungeon sounds pretty cool.
So, yeah, only certain items, only items in blue chests you can then carry over. Because if you die, you start over, you lose your items, lose your levels, unless you open it in a blue chest, and then you can
That
bring
carries
that
over?
back in. Yep.
So this is like, and that's, Persona does this too, right? Where there's like, you go inside an item and then like that item is in itself a dungeon, or am I thinking of a different franchise?
That is like Persona 1 or 2.
Okay.
I haven't played that, but I
Okay.
know that's a thing.
Okay. Next question, 33. set in the year 2102, where dictator Vinkar Aman has waged a war against the United Earth government. I feel like we've already done Desert Strike, but it's got to... Yeah, and this is in the future, 2102.
Metal Warriors?
Maybe. You want to do Metal Warriors?
Sure.
All right, Metal Warriors, locking it in. It's Metal Warriors,
Nice.
baby.
Yeah.
Nice pull.
Cross it off the list. Not going to guess it again.
Is it bad that I don't even remember that game? I really don't.
Because it was one where we just played it a little bit, and Jacob came on and asked questions about it.
So maybe you're saying maybe I didn't play it enough to remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember liking it either.
Yeah.
Not like at all.
32. This game is loosely based on a legendary Japanese outlaw hero who stole gold and other valuables to give to the poor.
That's
Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
Yep.
We good with this?
Oh, yeah.
All right, locking it in. It is the Legend of the Mystical Ninja. All right, 31. This game gave players a fresh set of animal cyborg foes, including such memorable bosses as Wheelgator, Bubble Crab, and Overdrive Ostrich.
Mega Man X2.
Not locking that in. It is Mega Man X2.
Oh, that turned out pretty well.
Pretty good. We missed Kirby's Dream Course and fucking Turtles in Time, which really,
That hurts.
that one stings real bad. That one stings real bad. Especially because Usurper Grimm gifted me that game just recently.
Yep. He asked me if he had it. I told him that he does not.
Just recently. And I should know that but I never play. I've never played the 2-player versus mode, and I've never done time trial. They just don't exist to me. You know what I mean?
I burnt myself out on that game at Game Galaxy.
Yeah, I think the Super Nintendo version is like a better game, honestly. All right, boys, fuck, marry, kill. Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Albert Fish.
I don't like that question.
Neither does John Turley.
You get to kill one of them,
Ooh,
but you do have to fuck one and marry another.
I think you got to kill Albert Fish.
Yeah.
He killed kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one
he
to kill.
He killed 8 kids and molested them. Yeah, I think he's
Out of those, I mean, who's to say who's the worst, quite honestly, but because it's all really bad, right?
they're all yeah.
But I mean, anything involved with kids is exceptionally heinous.
Yep. That's like that Most Evil show where they try to classify evil on a scale of like 1 to 23.
That is a TV show?
Yeah, it's kind of old, but it's really, really good because it breaks down like...
Is 23 the most evil?
Yep.
Wow, we're all 23. It brings a whole new meaning.
Like a 23 is like somebody who has premeditated takes sexual gratification out of the kill, and there's a whole bunch of criteria. Like,
Gotcha.
I mean, while like someone lower on the list is like a crime of passion that just happens when they're angry, or the first season is really, really good at breaking that down.
I have a confession to make. I don't know that much about Ted Bundy, honestly. How did that beer fall over? What the fuck?
I don't know. And how it fell over in that direction.
I mean, poltergeist,
Yep.
but my pants are soaked with beer now. That's fun.
Do you want to pause, get a paper towel?
Yeah, let's pause. I need a paper towel.
I've got napkins.
All right. We're back. I invoked the spirit of Ted Bundy, who fucking, because he's like, you don't fucking know me. I will spill your beer all over your crotch.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna answer this question.
Okay.
I don't like the question.
Okay.
I know too much about all three of these people, and I don't want to say the words. So
I
I'm
don't.
out.
I honestly don't. Everything I know about Albert Fish came from Tyler. Like, that's like not.
I say you don't want to say I would fuck Jeffrey Dahmer or I would marry Ted Bundy.
So Jeffrey Dahmer is the one that I know, and the only reason I know about Jeffrey Dahmer is because he was killing people when I was alive.
Yeah.
And
and Bundy was killing people when I was alive.
And see,
as well.
The only thing I know about Ted Bundy, two things I know about Ted Bundy. One, he's a serial killer. Two, women say he's attractive. Like that's the thing that
That's the thing you always hear.
You always
It's like,
hear, but it's not a thing.
Well,
I guess he's not ugly, but I don't know if that makes him attractive.
Well, see, when I looked him up, I was like, oh, I can see like he's 70s attractive.
fucking Zac Efron played him in that Netflix special.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tanya watches all that shit.
Yeah.
We watch all the serial killer documentaries and stuff. And
Yeah.
I've seen more about Ted Bundy than I ever wanted to. And he was really smart. And if he'd used his powers for good, he probably would have been worth his shit. But instead,
Yeah, but no one would know his name.
he turned. Yeah, exactly. And he turned the courtroom into kind of this circus because he started defending himself, and he was all
Married
glitz and
that woman
glam.
on the stand, like exploiting weird loopholes
Yeah,
and shit.
it
A woman like in the courtroom.
And there's a weird he was just one of it. It had something to do with he wanted the death penalty, so he made sure he was tried in Florida, and Florida had all these weird loopholes.
Why did he want the
anyway.
death penalty?
I don't know.
I know he thought he knew he wouldn't stop, and I think that it would have just. I think it cemented his fame. And at the end, we watched a new movie about him the other day. Henry Thomas is in it, and he plays the guy that ultimately got the chance to interview Bundy after being on death row for as long as he
How
was.
he had to kind of trick him into opening up.
Yeah, and he got him to open up, and they based the movie off of the tapes from these interviews. And at the end, he was like, "Why is this happening to me?" And it's like the guy even said, "Are you fucking kidding me? You know, this didn't happen to you. It happened to all your fucking victims."
How many people did he kill?
It was like, I want to say like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
But the one that got him was that he raped and murdered a 12-year-old girl.
Yikes! Yeah.
And he was a piece of shit. He was just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And you say what you will. I know people are fascinated, but I'm over it.
I understand the fascination because it is kind of one of those things where it's like, why would somebody do? Like, I understand that. Like, why would somebody do this? But
Well, and that's what the profilers tried to figure out. That's what they started this shit to do.
Sure, yeah.
And they've made a lot of progress. And listen, I'm terrible. I don't follow it religiously. It just happens to be droning on in the background when I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
Tanya's the type of person that could tell you his victims, and most people couldn't name his fucking victims.
Yeah.
Because it's about, just like he wants it to be about him.
Right.
It's still about him. She understands. She likes to follow this stuff, and she knows the victims and where they were and how they died. And,
Yeah.
it's a true she would have made a fucking amazing FBI agent. I do wish so much that she had been able to go into law enforcement and become a profiler, because she is really fucking good at that shit. And so I respect that. If you're in it for that, if it's just something that gets you kind of, I don't know, if you get a thrill from it, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. And I think that kind of stuff it makes me mad that we have more knowledge of the killer and less knowledge of the victims.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's why I just don't want to answer the question, because
I
don't want to say the words.
I will say that the shirts that Monster Mole Mike sent in, the Albert Fish shirts, they're really fucking sick. Like the design on those are like real fucking good. I do wear that shirt, not at work, but I do wear that shirt. But yeah, outside of like, I remember like and even like the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff when I was growing up as a kid. It was all through jokes. It was all through like stand-up comedy, and then like jokes that I'd hear at school. Like, it wasn't until years later that I learned a bunch of the stuff, like, because I actually watched the news.
The jokes,
and then it was like,
point.
oh fuck,
This
man,
is bad.
This is real bad. Yeah. So I don't know. If you're not going to answer, I'm sure Spike not going to answer either.
Sorry, Ross.
Well,
Ross.
it's sort of like you can look at it ranking them. I look at it like ranking them. Who you think is
Like the most
worst.
evil?
The most bad.
The most evil.
But see, I don't know enough about Ted Bundy. But I mean,
It's
fucking raped and murdered a 12-year-old girl. That sounds real bad. Did
Dahmer.
I think Fish is the worst. Fish is the worst.
Fish is the worst.
Fish is number one, the worst, hands down.
And then like Dahmer, I know he preyed on gay men, right? And they were
young. Some of them pretty young,
how young?
in their teens,
I mean, minors.
minors. Yeah,
And he
That's
would do
not
his
good.
experiments on them
Right.
to try and make a sex slave, somebody who could.
Right.
I feel like Dahmer's super fucked up. But Dahmer
I think that's fair to say.
Dahmer is the more where I think Albert Fish was a sociopath. Ted Bundy is a sociopath. Dahmer got abused and warped. So I'm going to put Dahmer at the bottom. His crimes
fair.
are no less horrendous.
Yeah.
But
The circumstances.
I feel like he was a product of his environment more than.
So when you
just
say
who
you're
he
going to
was.
put him at
Agree.
the bottom, what do you mean? Like the least evil?
Of those
Of
three,
the
the least,
That
the least
would
evil.
be accurate.
You know,
And that's hard to classify. I know way more.
you know
about
way
all of
more
it.
about this than I do. So I'm just going to defer
I
to
eat,
you.
I eat and breathe. Last podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I've listened to that show before. It's a very good show. It's just one of those where it's like Nikki is also, she's into the true crime stuff. Less so than she used to be, but she used to be like really into the true crime stuff. And I was always just kind of like around it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But never really like super paying attention to it. So it's like, I guess it was just never super appealing to me. And that's as much as I like Last Podcast on the Left, I kind of
You
go in
might
and
like
out.
you and Nikki might like Henry Zabrowski, who was on last podcast on the left. His wife does sort of on the same network, sort of I would almost think of it as a sister series called Someplace Underneath. It's her and her friend, Neath being like a goddess of the lost.
Oh, okay.
And her show is all about lost women.
Okay.
Women who not necessarily been murdered, just
Disappeared.
have gone missing.
See, because like Nikki's big
Yeah.
thing is less the serial killers and more cold case. Like, I mean, anything that's a cold case, and usually
I think
those
she's
are
like Someplace
murders.
Underneath.
But I mean, not always. They're not always murders, but like cold case, like that's like the shit she's like real interested in.
Well, and to go back on it a little bit more, Bundy was also a bit of a victim of his environment, but it was more because of ambivalence and what he was into. His thing, one of the things he said in his final interviews was, you know, Playboys, no, fuck that. True detective crime novels and magazines, those were my Playboys. Because you had your Playboy where you had naked women. That's it. Naked women, body jokes, articles about football and how to be more successful in your job, and
Some of those Playboy cartoons are really good, though.
they really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
Well, he got embraced by Jerry Falwell close to the end too, because
Really?
he said like porn did play a part in it.
Yeah, and he
so the
converted.
Christian right was like porn. See my buddy Ted Bundy, he's repenting.
Right.
You know.
But his thing
Wow.
was he read all these magazines, those 10-cent crime magazines back in the day.
Yeah.
That depicted women on the covers of these magazines being brutalized and
Sure.
victimized.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was just everything to him. And it just fascinated him, and he loved it, and that's what he grew into. But
And
then I
as
said
an art
ambivalence in the sense that his parents or his family, they just let him do whatever.
Negligence.
That's what I was going to ask.
negligence.
Like, because I can see that being like appealing to a boy and being like, holy shit, this is like sensational. You know
Yes.
what I mean? But like, I was about to ask, like, how does that, how does that grow from there? Because I mean,
I think he had the
think he
trait.
was-
and you answered that with
And he was
negligence from the
superficially
family,
charming.
so.
He got his way and everything. Even in the fucking courtroom where they found him guilty, the judge was like
I'm glad to have
complimentary.
worked. The
Yeah.
judge actually said to Ted Bundy, "It's been a real pleasure working with you, and under
What?
other
You
circumstances,
coulda went the other way."
You would have made a great lawyer." I mean, complimenting the son of a bitch who has literally been put on death row. I mean, and he was like, "Yeah, and I'm sorry to say it, but yeah, you're going to death row." Kind of like just apologetic to the man who.
Man, I really wish you hadn't, murdered, raped, and ate those women.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people in the courtroom also wish you hadn't murdered and raped. And
Yeah,
those
like
women.
maybe the victims'
Did
families.
you say eat?
No.
Well, what got him caught, his teeth were fucking awful. He had like really crooked, fucked up teeth. And
Nosferatu.
towards the end, he started biting his victims, and they got a bite mark off of one of his victims and compared it to his actual bite mark, and it was a perfect
he would keep them for
match.
months and fuck their rotting bodies and shit. And,
Ted Bundy would? Yikes.
he had one in like a tree house.
Yeah, he
for like
stashed
months
them away.
and would constantly go visit them and.
Yeah, but
See, I can see why this is interesting because that is some fucked up shit.
Right.
Like you're telling me this, and I'm like, wow.
Well, see now
this is-
Gacy.
Well,
Gacy was also
Gacy was a fucking-
burying the boys in his basement.
They found in Gacy's under Gacy's house.
I know about Gacy a little bit just because I feel like he gets talked about the most. So like
2 cops came over to the house. He had him over because he was part of the community. You know, he was like a booster and a
he's
deacon at
he's
the
the manager of that
church and
KFC.
everything. A couple cops came over. One went in the bathroom to take the leak and was smelling something really foul and nasty. Eventually, they found stacks and stacks and stacks of bodies buried under his fucking house. They just kept bringing them out. They just kept trucking them out. And it's like, fuck. Why? How do you do that?
It's like that one, the guy that Dahmer was torturing him. One dude got away.
Yep.
right, I heard that story.
And the cops found
didn't
him.
believe him, right? Because they were like,
They
just
took him back.
They were Dahmer said like, oh no, we're lovers
having
and
a
we got in a
domestic-
fight.
yeah, right.
And they were like, oh, gay stuff? No, here, you take, no,
Right.
all right, we're out.
yeah,
The guy thought he was free and clear, and the cops brought him back. And it
Yep.
was like, oh
Yep.
no.
yeah. All right.
So
Anyway.
Fish Bundy Dahmer.
Although I did like My Favorite Murder for a minute there, but it wasn't because of the serial killer stuff. It was just because I liked those two women.
Yeah, it got annoying after a
It
while.
did. I dropped off.
I got in about, I'd say I probably got in 20 or 30 episodes before I'd had
Yeah.
enough.
When I went, I wanted to listen to them, but their episodes didn't have. I want like at least like last podcast, I can see exactly who they're talking about, what they're talking about. Their episodes weren't numbered. I didn't know where to start, what was interesting, where to go, so I just didn't get into it.
Yeah.
It was fine for a minute, and then I got tired of it.
All right, Ross, I hope you're appeased.
There you go.
Next, we've got Fuck, Marry, Kill. Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee.
Well, I have to marry Tennessee because that's where I'm from.
Okay. That settles that.
I don't know much about Arkansas.
I've driven through Arkansas. I've been to Little Rock. I've had rock candy from Arkansas as a child. So yeah, fuck Arkansas.
Fuck Arkansas and kill Alabama?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna fuck Alabama because they've got Huntsville, which is where the Space Center is.
That
and
is
that's
true.
Really cool. So I'm gonna fuck Alabama and kill
Tether
Arkansas.
yourself to that fucking spaceship.
That's right. Tether yourself to the goddamn space shuttle.
Also, my parents lived in Alabama for a really long time. So
And there's Gulf Shores, which is
there's
cool.
Gulf Shores. So
It's a good state. If you just stay out of the middle,
I mean, it's
fine.
hard to say that it's a good state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No offense to anybody in Alabama.
No, I mean, I'm not speaking from a political standpoint.
Right, right.
I'm trying to take the politics out of it.
Oh, okay.
Tennessee's not much fucking better.
Because if it's a political thing, they're all dumpster fires.
well,
right.
and we don't have a lot of room to talk either. Like that's kind of
No,
why this
coming
is
from a dumpster fire, I can stand in this dumpster fire
Yeah.
and point, hey, look at that
Yeah.
other dumpster fire.
We're like in a burning.
It's like our dumpster
yeah,
fire.
we're like in a burning dumpster at Taco Bell, looking at the burning dumpster at KFC and pointing and laughing.
Yeah.
It's not like we can't laugh and point while Mitch McConnell dumps kerosene on us.
I'm just glad Kentucky wasn't in the question. I don't know what I'd do with Kentucky.
I don't like this question either.
I know that's a tough one. I'm gonna stand by my answer though. The only reason I'm killing Arkansas is just because I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so I might kill Arkansas too, even though I had some bitchin' rock candy there once. But
You can get good rock candy at Rock City
let me ask you this:
in Tennessee.
how many cities can you name in Arkansas? Got Little Rock.
That's about
What else
it.
is there?
That's about it.
I can't name another one.
I can't either. I don't even.
Nashville, you got Tennessee, you got Nashville, you got Knoxville, some other
We're
villes.
also,
Memphis.
we live.
Memphis, yeah. What were you gonna say?
Paris. They have a Paris,
They
Tennessee.
do have a Paris.
We live really close to there, but
Yeah, so people from there might actually come here and hurt us. So we have to say good things about it.
yeah, you're
And then, I
right.
mean, Alabama's got Montgomery,
Huntsville, Montgomery, Gulf Shores,
Mobile.
Mobile.
You want to count Mobile? That's like on the shore. I mean,
Yeah.
Biloxi
Yeah.
is what I was thinking about on the shore, not
Mississippi.
Mobile.
That's Mississippi, isn't it? I thought Biloxi was in
Yeah,
Mississippi.
it is Mississippi. No, Ian, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my answer. Marrying Tennessee, fucking Alabama, killing Arkansas.
I'm also going to marry Tennessee because I like Nashville quite a bit. I like going to Nashville's like, and a lot of its proximity because I can drive 2 hours and be at Zany's.
And it's the birthplace of your whizzing sage. So
that's yeah.
got that going
That
for
ain't
it, which
that
is
ain't
nice.
nothing. And then I guess I'll fuck Alabama because my immediate family had lived there for a long time. And then I guess I'll just kill Arkansas, even though I knew someone who was pretty nice from Arkansas. But that's all I got. That's all Arkansas has
That
going
sounds
for
good.
it, is I knew somebody nice from
Both
there.
of your answers sound good. Sure, I'm in.
Weird questions tonight.
Last one. Fuck, marry, kill. Here we go. Here's the real shit. Getting into a warm bed, getting into a warm car, putting on warm clothes. All of this is beaten by my personal favorite. Turn the shower up all the way hot and stay in there for 1 hour.
Yeah.
That is where it's
You
at.
can't do that at my house because you'll get scalded. My water heater's set too high.
Can I come
I'll
over,
take
take
the
a
Pepsi
shower?
challenge.
Yeah, I will.
Shit, all right.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I like it fucking hot and
Tony
like,
does too. She will straight almost faint from the heat.
and I'm so proud. Like Henry is like, he wants it maxed out too. So
Nice.
I'm like, okay, bud, here's what we got to do. You and I together need to go to mom and be like, we want the shower to be hotter. I know it's hot, but I honestly like getting out of the shower and my skin being red. Like, I mean, I like hot fucking shower.
That's how you know it's clean.
It's a little. It's just a little
how you know you're
knob.
alive.
A little knob on the side of your water heater. Just turn it to the left.
I know,
goes up.
I know, but I don't want to fuck with Nikki's flow.
Well, that's
you know what I
true.
mean?
That's true. For me, I don't like the bed to be warm when I get in it. I like for my sheets to be cool.
I agree with you 110%.
Crisp, almost.
I want it to be
Cool.
cold.
I'm killing that.
Okay,
Getting into a warm bed.
okay.
Because eventually it gets
Who's been
warm
here?
yeah,
Am I crawled
exactly.
into somebody else's skin and sweat?
Yeah.
Why am I-
Is there an invisible man
I mean, obviously,
sleeping in my bed?
Obviously, it gets warm eventually, which is nice. But getting into bed, I'm killing that. The warm bed.
But it is nice. I love getting in bed, and Nikki's been sleeping in there for like 3 hours, and I've been playing like Phasmophobia or something. I go in there, and it's like my side of the bed's real cold, so I get to like press my cold body up against her nice, warm, like I've been in bed for 3 hours body. I know that's not an option on here, but I do count that as a warm, like that's the only time I would like or like Berlioz will be like sleeping next to her, and then Clementine will be sleeping next to her, and I get to walk in the room and be like, "Begone, beasts!" And then they get and they
you
get
get
out,
their warmth.
and then I'm like, you dumb motherfuckers.
Well, see, I like it in the morning, like if Melissa happens to wake up when I'm going to work, and then cuddling her in the morning when she's been in the bed all night, and I call that like, I love morning wife. Morning wife's good.
That is nice. Yeah. I don't wake up as early as anyone in my family, so I get late night. I get late night wife.
My wife and I don't cuddle in bed. She sleeps under a 15-pound weighted blanket, and
That
I couldn't
sounds pretty
get
good, too.
get close to her if I wanted to. So cool sheets for me. Fucking killing the warm bed. The
Okay.
other option
I'm
was
killing the warm bed too.
Warm clothes,
okay.
which I gotta say, putting on clothes straight out of the dryer on a cold day is fucking bliss. Like that is
It's nice, but again, for me,
Warm towel out of the shower, I can go with. Warm clothes,
take it or
Yeah.
leave it. I'm
Yeah.
fucking that. And I'm marrying getting into the warm car.
getting in a warm car
I
is
love
It's
the
amazing.
warm car heat.
That happened to me
Especially-
today.
Me too.
because the
Especially-
greenhouse effect. It was so like crisp out and
Yes.
cold outside that I like when I went to Best Buy and Chick-fil-A. When I got in the car, I was like, "Holy shit! It is nice in this car."
One of my favorite things to do is on a day like today when it's cold outside but sunny, and the car's been parked in the sun. You know, I'm not wearing like any heavy coats. I'm just wearing jeans and this hoodie, you know. Get in that boy. It's warm, and it's like the best sort of all-encompassing heat.
Because it's not directed.
It's not direct. It's like an
everywhere.
oven.
Yeah.
You get in, and it takes the edge off, and then especially when it's quiet, if the car is like, if it's silent. I love the silence of a closed-up car. The engine's not running, but it's warm. Yeah, that's the one I'm marrying.
I'll say this about the warm car. I love getting into it, but about a few minutes in, I'm usually like, I got to turn some knobs or something.
Crack this.
Yeah. I'll get in, like if it's super cold outside, get in the car you've already turned on and you let it run so you go into work. So then I get in that warm car, it's like, oh, okay, good. I'm like that for a minute before I then turn
Start
the
dropping
AC
it back.
up to where I'm cold.
Open the window, a crack.
This is the cold. I'm now back at the level of cold. I'm tired of hot.
Yeah.
Now the level of cold I like.
Well, it's like I'm fighting it because it's like, I want to make it a little cooler, but in order to do that fast, I guess I got to make it real cold, right?
Yep, because I crank it out till I'm shivering again, and then like, oh, I got to do, it's extremes back and forth.
See, I do that with the window. What I'll do is I'll drop the heat down to like 1 on the fan speed when it gets too hot, and then I'll crack the window, vent out some of the heat until it's comfortable again, and then roll the window all the way up and let the whole process start.
That's nice. I like controlling it with the window.
And then you keep from having to turn on the air, you know.
Yeah. As much as I like getting into a warm car, I'm gonna fuck that, and I'm gonna marry getting into warm clothes. I love putting on like warm pants, like straight out of the dryer on a
But
cold day.
then I burn myself on the metal that's on the pants.
Yeah, the zipper and the button.
The fabric is nice, and then the crotch burn of the button.
Again, that's how you know you're alive.
Gotta feel a little pain from time to time, just to remind you.
And especially when it's like button fly. I've put on some of those before where it's like,
hot rivet.
Whoa, boy. I better make sure I don't have a fucking
That's gonna leave
brand.
a mark. Got reverse Levi's on my fucking pubic bone.
My underbelly says Levi's. But yeah, Ian and I have the same answer.
All right. Ross, thank you.
Good
Thank
ones.
you, Ross.
Good ones.
Appreciate it.
Controversial
Quite.
questions tonight.
Yeah. Sorry to everybody listening in Arkansas.
Yeah, we've got nothing against you.
Please forgive us.
We're not trying to kill you, just your state.
Just the state. I think that's it.
Okay.
You guys, we gotta figure out which of these 3
Which of
games
the
we're gonna
three?
play.
All right.
Is it going to be? Let me read off what we got. We got Super Soccer, Wild Guns,
Ooh.
and Super Baseball Simulator 1000. It's 1.000. So
That's my batting average.
Yeah.
okay. So it's gonna be one of those 3. Are we ready?
We're just gonna eat up the vegetables first, get the sports out of the way, and then enjoy the savory meat of Wild Guns for last.
It's gonna be random. So I mean, unless you guys wanna
Let's pray.
buck the
Just
randomizer.
finish out the randomizer.
All right.
It's fine.
Okay.
Go get the batter up peripheral. My
Okay.
head on it. So
All right.
we all have to say.
Okay.
Do it.
No whammies. Stop.
2.
Wild
That's
Guns.
We're having dessert first.
It's Wild Guns.
Dessert first, babies, and then we're gonna have a rough patch of
We're
vegetables.
like along came Polly. She's so quirky. She eats the dessert first.
So there we go. Wild Guns next episode.
Sweet.
I'm excited for that. I've never played Wild Guns
Me neither.
before.
I've heard a lot of good
good
things
things about it, which is more than I could say for Super Soccer or Baseball Simulator 1000. So we'll see.
That'll be fine.
It'll be okay. It'll be all right.
It'll all be pretty okay.
It'll all be very mundane.
Yep.
It'll all be what you've come to expect from this podcast.
Pretty bad. Pretty Super Valis 4 all the way around. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, just the internet in general. We're still on Facebook for now. Who knows? Meta, I don't know. Burnout, I don't know. So we got the Facebook group. We've got Tadpog Nation for those people who like a dank, and then people who like good organized chat. We got that Discord. What's that Discord link again?
It is discord.gg/Tadpog. The spirit of Ted Bundy just almost knocked over another fucking beer.
That was me.
I always knew you were the spirit of Ted Bundy.
He admits it.
Or bit.ly/Tadpog Discord. That'll get you there. It's pretty good, honestly. That's like what I fucking do now instead of Facebook. Is I just hang out on Discord.
Me too.
It's good. Come check it out.
And we're going to tell you now, for some reason, I'm locked out of the Patreon again on my phone.
You're locked out?
Yeah, I have to verify the device again.
All right.
I do not know why.
Okay. Well, I've got them in case that happens. And what I meant to do was at the very beginning of this podcast, be like, try to log into Patreon.
Yep.
And by the time it rolls, because what happens is our mail server is fucking slow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, because the other, like last week when you were trying to log in for this segment of the show, I was like, well, I'll just wait until it fucking pops up that it needs to be authorized. And it was like an hour or two later. I mean, it was like very, very ridiculously slow. So I'll look for it again. But what happens is by the time it pops and I see it, the link has expired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get it. We'll get it. I promise I'm not trying to keep you out of the Patreon.
I know.
But we've got some people to thank. We've got Jesse McCombs and Jonathan Nodge Martinez have upped their donations. They're riding that penny train.
Oh, yeah.
Toot, 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 toot. And then that was this weak ass toot, 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 toot.
Tired. It's the train that's been going all night and all day. And
Wiggle that ass a little bit.
We sold 12 tickets to the matinee, sir. And then we got Plinko Nick. With his increased donation. Plinko Nick, thanks, man. That's awesome of you.
Very cool.
That's a sizable donation. So very, very much appreciated. Which brings us to the executive producers. These are the folks who donate on patreon.com/Tadpog at $20 or more a month. It goes a long way. Here we go. We've got Usurper Grimm, God Emperor Alex Pena, Plinko Nick Price, Temporial, Eternal Savior, Cubicle Monkey, Cousin David Galino, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Steve Dixon, Clambro Cody Phillips, Bantha Master, Executive Producer Dig Dougie, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Time Lord Josh Edwards, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, congratulations on your marriage. Sick Jake, we're sorry you fell for the marketing. Magical Sleeper, a.k.a. Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn, Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, I'm sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first-time caller, Zeus Laser, Boons from Brooklyn, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Big Daddy Paul Anderson, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, General Kenobi Massacre, Barbecue Baron Andrew Rowland, and Backlog Banisher Dane. Thank you guys. It seriously means a lot. It goes a very long way. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hey, it's pretty good.
What is this episode?
All of it.
Just
all
this?
of it. Yeah.
Thank you to both of you for being here and hanging out. It's really good to see you.
I love it.
Man.
I love it.
I don't have cancer as far as I know.
Sorry you know.
But I do love you guys, and I do mean that.
I love you too, buddy.
It's always good. It's always good. It's always the best part of one of the best parts of the week.
I do
Literally
look
my
forward.
favorite thing I do every week.
I do look forward to recording this. Absolutely.
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track from the show notes at tadpog.com. How you guys want to close it out?
As our favorite frog pussy. Got it in.
All right.
Did we do a frog pussy last episode? I think we did. I think it was Frog
did.
Pussy Pope, Phil.
It was when you said it for Phil. Yeah,
that counts.
It does.
Yep.
You said it.
We're keeping it alive one way or another. I'm dragging it across the finish line. Come on, we got this, buddy.
Leaving a snail trail with that frog pussy.
That slimy frog pussy. Do you think there are like serial killer frogs? Like, do you think there are frogs who are just like, I kill other frogs?
Probably.
And try to turn other frogs into frog sex slaves.
But nobody cares. That's the thing. That's how they get away with it. Nobody cares.
Because they're frogs?
Because it's nature, man. It's just nature.
Okay, see, now that's some cosmic horror style shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, where do we get off thinking that we're so fucking important? We're just fucking frogs to whatever elder gods are out there.
There you go.
For the final installment in the Call of Cthulhu series, which will be the fourth one that will take place.
I am going to make you each fuck frogs.
You each play frogs in the 90s, so you're radical.
All right, I'm Zitz from Battletoads.
No, I want to have a lot of that debate being part of that game.
To me, that's cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like...
Once you said that, I was like, well, I've been thinking a lot about how
Yeah.
that ties into me wrapping up my Call of Cthulhu series.
Because I think in general, like, I guess there's maybe two different thoughts on what it means, but I do feel like a lot of people feel like cosmic horror means that you're dealing with aliens and stuff from, like, far off dimensions. But when I think of cosmic horror, like, the definition to it, to me, is realizing how... in the grand scheme of things, how absolutely minuscule our individual lives.
Yeah,
like that,
absolutely.
because that is horrifying.
That's terrifying. And
An ant crawls on my arm. I'm not thinking anything about that ant or anything, whatever. And you
Nope.
just smash it and move on.
Yep.
Like, that's Cthulhu to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Anyway, how would you guys like to close on
Frog
this podcast?
pussy. Our favorite frog pussy. It's fine.
Oh, shit! I gotta think about this. I've never thought about my favorite frog pussy. I've had so
There's
many.
so many to choose from. Says I keep making that joke. I guess mine has to be Slippy.
But that was gonna also be mine. So shit, I need to think. I don't know what frog or toad sounds like from the Frog and Toad books.
There's also Frog from Chrono Trigger.
But he doesn't have a pussy.
all frogs have
And
pussies.
all frogs have pussies if you try hard enough.
Is that like a weird sequel
Well,
to
they're
All
like-
Dogs Go to Heaven?
I thought
All
frogs.
frogs have pussies.
I thought frogs could like reproduce. They don't have. I thought
They can change.
I don't
Jurassic Park.
I don't think that's all frogs. I
Is it
think
not?
that's
Okay.
I think that's just some
Some.
frogs. So wait. Okay, I got mine.
All right. Ian, you good?
Yeah.
All right. So until next time.
Damn. That's a waveform.
Yeah. No, it just I have a feeling it just clips real bad in our headsets. I think it's okay on
Yeah,
the,
I think
on the
it's
thing.
fine.
I just wanted to annoy you guys. I'm a dinosaur from Jurassic Park because they're actually frogs.
Okay. I was Kermit because I think he has a pussy. I think he's
does
one of
have
the
a hole
frogs
you
that
can
have a
fist.
pussy. Yeah.
And you were Slippy?
Yep.
You stuck to
I gotta
it.
be. I gotta be.
Yeah,
I
that's
ruined
the
us from
origin.
having more money by hitting that Slippy frog pussy joke multiple times.
It's all right.
Before it took.
I didn't okay, so like
I'm listening to that right now.
the backlog Banisher Dane quiz.
Oh
you
my
know,
god. Yeah, I am.
So
I
here's-
had forgotten how nuts that shit was.
So here's how I feel about all of that. I really wish that we would have gotten all of that correct, but I also honestly didn't want backlog Banisher Dane's money.
yeah, I didn't either. I just wanted to win the
Like,
contest.
Fuck it, I do. I want it.
I mean, because that's
I'm still going to get it, Dane. However, I have to.
because I mean that became a point of like honestly, even if we have gotten all those questions right, I think that it would have been a good idea to absolve Dane from his.
Like you're clear. Just know that we beat you. And
Right,
But
that's
we
enough.
didn't.
That
But
we did
didn't.
it. That we did it. And then, but I don't know if I don't know if we've talked about. I know he's mentioned this on Discord.
Yeah.
But like when we guessed the correct answer to the first
He was
question,
shitting
Right?
himself.
It's like he felt his nuts in his stomach.
And then came the correct answer to the second question. And it was like, fuck. Uh-oh.
But that third question was impossible to answer. So that's the ace in the hole there.
We were so close.
I know.
Oh,
Obviously, we're over it.
yeah, clearly. I don't think about it at all. I started listening. I was listening to that episode. I started it like last week, and then I haven't worked in the yard, so I haven't had a chance to really listen. But I was in my truck today or yesterday, and the quiz started. I was like, I literally said out loud, "Oh, here we fucking go. Here it comes. It's good. It's really good. It was fun, and it's funny as hell.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I've heard one person say that it was kind of a drag.
I mean,
but everyone else seemed to
it was
seemed to enjoy it.
entertaining, yeah.
It was one of those things where it was like definitely a roller coaster for me because I went into it being like, this is gonna suck because the questions are all gonna be super
gonna
fucking
fail the
hard,
first question,
and it's just gonna be a disaster. But then it rapidly became like, okay, I'm in. Like this is doable. We could do this.
I literally just right before I got here listened to the part where we got the second question right, and then we had locked in an answer for the third question.
Yeah.
But then that's when we started trying to call Phil.
Right.
And we called into the Discord. And I said, I'm awake. Like when we got the second question right, I'm like, okay, I think I just woke up because I think we might get this. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But what's wild is
hilarious. It's funny as hell.
that could have gone like, can you imagine if we had not guessed that first question correctly?
No, it would have been
It would have been a throwaway. It would have just been like a 10 minutes. But it became the rest of that fucking episode. Like, so I don't know.
The tension built up. It got real, and it was like, oh, we might get it because he's just saying y'all ain't gonna get this. And you never want to participate. I'm like, no,
which is true. I never do want to participate
because
I know I'm gonna get the fucking answers wrong.
exactly.
So why even? First of all, I'm gonna get the questions wrong. Second of all, I don't want the prize, and I know that it could be like if we get them right, it's like whatever. I don't want the prize, but I don't know. Just like
that's not what we just like the challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, money's fine, but we like the challenge. It's not like that, but just the fact that we got so fucking close.
I know,
and it was just
we came so far.
Intense.
But in the end, it didn't even matter.
I think we made that joke on that episode.
We did.
Maybe.
We did.
There's always more room for a Linkin Park joke.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I'm on board.
So I just want to announce, on a more serious, somber note. So there's some...
How, like on a scale of like 1 to 10, how much frog pussy is on this serious, somber...
I mean, as most as you can get without.
If you could try to shoehorn in a frog pussy, I don't know where you're going with this, but
I wanted to be transparent about it. So there's some litigation going on, and because of that, at my request, and I'm thankful to Dave and Dane for helping out. That just because of things that are going on, don't message me about it. But court stuff going on, I thought it would prudent to kind of take away, get Meg's episodes off the mainstream. Dave, I think you got a good idea. We're going to re-record like anything from IGN's Top 100, so there's not any gaps.
Because there are a couple. There's like
series.
Harvest Moon and like Kirby's
Final Fantasy and Earthbound and stuff that I wouldn't mind revisiting anyway.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
To definitely, to do better.
Yeah.
So those have been pulled. Just for me at my request because of everything going on. So just if anybody sees though that they're gone, that's why they're gone.
A couple people have but
stuff going on.
No big deal.
It's personal and it's important that it was done. So that's just what that is.
Did we get them off the backlog as well?
I think they're still. What do you mean off the
YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what Dane did.
Dane took them down.
Dane took them down.
And then they're out of.
Yep.
The archive.
Out of main circulation.
Pulled them off of the feed. Yeah.
Got it.
And we talked about, and I don't know how you feel about it. If you don't want them there, it's fine. But we talked about putting them on Patreon as an idea. But I don't know how you feel about it being access for like $1. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Because I don't know because I'm happy to take them down, but I also don't know the length of like, I guess how far that goes.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe just not for now. Well, it's just a lot of stuff going on.
That sounds good. It's one of those where it's like if we can, it just sucks to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Obviously for a good reason, but it's one of those where it's like, and obviously it'd be great to re-record those because I'm really looking forward to like revisiting Final Fantasy III and Earthbound.
Well, and I'll come on.
Cool.
And we'll just.
You play those games too.
I could play them.
Yeah. They are long. That is a commitment.
I know.
It is a worthwhile commitment. It kind of depends. It's kind of tough for me to be like, hi, it's 2021. You've never played Earthbound before. Maybe you should do that.
But buckle up, motherfucker.
I mean, I liked Earthbound, but I've said this before, and I mean it. There's no way I would have I really, really liked Earthbound, but there is no way I would have liked it as much if I hadn't been playing it with you, Tyler. There's no way. I just wouldn't have. It would have been a completely different experience. I wouldn't have gotten a bunch of things. I wouldn't have, that was a bonding experience playing that game with you. So it's kind of tough. But I do know it's one of those games where it had been if I just sat down on a Saturday night where there was something else I wanted to do and played it, I would have been like, this ain't so great. You know? And I think the same thing could be said about Final Fantasy III, just because it's decades after the fact. You know, I do feel like some of these games are timeless and some of the qualities are, but I've been drinking a little bit, so I'm rambling. Sorry about that.
Yep. So I just wanted to be transparent and, people asking questions, and that's just, there it is.
Okay.